so loud. You did that like 37 minutes.
Having delay is fine, but audio will be. This is for 4 to 8K.
Like after this one? I don't know. I don't really care about it. I'm just here. I do want to see how this game goes.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I think it'll be surprising and disappointing.
probably. For both teams.
Yeah. For either like I kind of believe either of them just might toss the game away.
Oh yeah.
Mental boom. But I don't think it's that.
Are we good?
And the mic is correct. Thank you, Gabby. We can let it carry this.
Like this one, I should see that.
Continue.
Hey, I feel like it's just. Sorry, supposed to be like up there.
Hello? Hello?
Here, I'm gonna move the camera.
Welcome to the third annual Alamo City College Showdown. We are here in a beautiful San Antonio evening between San Antonio Siesta
Trinity Turbulence College. What were your commentators for this first game? My name is Axel. My name is Sky. Two local club players play here in San Antonio, playing very close to both Trinity and UTSA teams.
Sky, an alumni of the UTSA program, and myself, an alumni of the Frisbee program.
So we've both been through these programs. We both been a part of this game. It's such a big deal.
Yeah, but I don't know when it started.
Today. Axel, can you tell me anything about Trinity right now?
Trinity has a really young program. They're a massive group of guys, which when I played, we were about 13 to 16 guys the entire time I was on the team. So it's really encouraging to see the level of commitment they're able to pull out onto the field. And yeah, led by Coach Lambert, who is also one of our teammates. It's really just exciting to see the program grow, and I'm excited to see what they can show tonight.
And so I'm coming from UTSA. I watched them use their practices, played for the team a couple years back. Really seeing longevity of groups staying together, seeing them grow over a couple years has really been nice. I think before we had no coach, we had nobody kind of helping us go through. And now I think having Jacob and a couple of others coming out and helping their team really does elevate them, really help them with the system and give some growth to these new players. I think UTSA has a few veterans that have been playing for a while that have been on the club scene, and then they have a lot of new players, freshmen, sophomores that are they're learning the game. They're pretty athletic. I think he's going to be a good process. Trinity and UTSA.
You guys are talking into it.
Very similar teams, but very good at different things. Where Trinity excels, UTSA doesn't, and vice versa. So it'll be a great evening between two great teams, and looking forward to see
I have
what these guys have in store for us today.
Yeah, and obviously,
I can use the camera.
UTSA has taken it both times in this matchup. Now, I'll leave them excited after having a chance after watching the
Being a club player here in San Antonio,
I love the
they actually just scrimmage UTSA last one game, and Trinity this Wednesday. So got a little to see about both teams. Like I mentioned before, UTSA is very young, but their handlers know what they're doing. They're able to really continue. They're learning a lot of offers. And then the Trinity team has a lot of numbers. They have an experience on the court, and once they're moving, they really can get good momentum and play some really good defense. And like we said, both teams are led by two pretty good guys that were our teammates over the summer. So really looking forward to see the strategies, how they differ, and how they're similar.
And of course, he's going to get bragging rights at the end of the game.
Actually, any key takeaways on each team when you start watching the game tonight?
Well, it's funny, we actually had a tournament today where we played a lot of the Trinity guys. And something that, they have a lot of height. There's a lot of tall guys, a lot of experience, but I think Trinity can really use their height and keep those pros. They'll have a really good chance. They had a lot of great athletic plays when I was playing against them today, and also when, like Scott said, we played against them on Wednesday. So excited to see some athletes out there.
I think a few people I want to point out on the UTSA team, see that who they have starting right now. I think two of their main handlers, I think Nick Ortiz and Patrick Sertucci are two of the key staples on their team. I think that seeing how they play will really kind of carry them through the game. All right, so it looks like Trinity starting on defense, UTSA on offense. I think traditionally UTSA runs a post-stack.
That's not table. Trinity
Also for nothing. Look like Marcus. Yeah.
Frisbee. Post-stack stands for
Marcus is gonna text him.
basically just four people across the length of the field. Four blocks.
We're gonna yell at Brandon.
They look like it's more like a
I
soccer
want to move
match.
that camera.
Hey Brandon. Big John, let's go. Hey Brandon.
About to get underway here.
Oh really?
This is Jake from
And we are on
First group, 6 outside.
I mean, this might just be a radio.
sideline. Andres, oh, he's not taking this.
Might be a radio broadcast.
Deep shot. Looking deep. I think that one's going to stay in.
Just as rain. That was James. He's a sophomore on the team, very new to Frisbee, but has a lot of good potential. Extremely fast. So for For Dre to
Talking
outgrow
to
him,
Marcus, yeah.
man, he must
I mean,
have
I don't have
been
anyone
on that one.
And this is
Well, I mean,
Let's see if Trinity can get anything going. This is their first break chance of the game.
I mean, until Chase and I start casting, I think we leave it.
Everything working as it is these days. Anything I know about Royce, he's going to want to throw a deep and get the chance. Marcus trying to take it. Royce around, maybe on the far sideline. Back to James in the middle.
Alright, so we both play on Alamo City College Showdown this summer. So can you take through the lines of how you get broken early? What do you think of yourself? Him shooting well early is a good sign.
Really coming down with that one. Really great touch in the power position. With some momentum going down the field, able to unleash that up. Really great play by UTSA.
Like we say to each other on the field during the summer, both playing on O-line. You're that O-line, the job doesn't change whether you get broken or whether you're up a whole bunch. You really just want to continue to support. It's a thankless job, but the more you play, the more you get in that rhythm, it really does help really start building these small moments throughout the game. We'll see how their D-line, which first time
Nowadays,
see if tonight will be able to answer through.
I think this goal line, original line that scored, which started on defense in the first game, started the first place. So maybe Trinity doing more of a one, exit line, not necessarily going D-line.
This is way.
Yeah, it's an improvement from one break to 5 seconds.
This is behind.
So we mentioned the mindset with the O-line throughout the game. I know D-line is completely separate. You're not playing very carefree. Your job is to make those moments. So it's very difficult to get that game that is associated to being an offense in this game. So any type of pressure, any type of area of quick force is really decisive in the game. O-line holds through the whole game. D-line has done their job. One or two turns a game, you're going to get some big goals.
And Gypsy with the pull. This is what we were talking about. O-line on the end zone. This is a scary position for Trinity.
So I talked to I just looked a little more.
Oh, he throws it inside.
That goes to the end zone. Tough. They were very steep. Very much better. Solid work. I don't agree. I looked down from there. It's a hard execution line to make. Pulls it in. On the end zone right now.
I told them
Marcus hitting the floor. Good effort on him. That's pretty much a mail-out throw. Maybe there was a receiver, maybe not.
Smart play to make a better play. You don't want to make that outside. Right here.
But if we switch, maybe we better. All right, we are testing the audio from up here in the booth. That was a crazy throw. Hopefully this audio actually just comes through. Oh.
Rest
This is test number 2. Super nice inside throw to Will, but he drops it. I think the audio is decent, yeah. Alrighty, audio seems decent up in the booth. So you have Joshua Gammon and Chase commentating, giving a different perspective over the stream. You have Hugh having inside. Oh, sorry, I'm messing up. Oh my gosh.
Oh, nice effort.
Trinity handlers seem to be struggling getting these resets off, especially when they're on the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, hopefully UTSA can punch this one in. They've been stuck on this goal line multiple times already at this point.
It's an inside flick here.
That's easy. That's another thing that we noticed whenever we scrimmed Trinity recently this past Wednesday was that a lot of their times their marks are too far around on the break side space where they're kind of not really taking much away other than the sideline, which they don't need to. So like to see them improve on that as this game goes on.
Especially when the end zone vert stack's that far over, there's a huge lane for that inside flick. I feel like intuitively you should move to cover that a little bit more.
Yeah, honestly, I think the stack defenders were almost on the wrong side, where that was like the obvious lane to take, even though that's like the obvious lane to take away,
Sure.
since they're like right there.
We'll see how Trinity adapts throughout the game, considering how far or where UTSA is positioning their vert stack in the end zone.
And the score is right now
2-1.
2-1.
UTSA.
Like I said, this game, back on their O-line just has to continue to hold both sides.
Full transparency, I could be wrong, considering we were 2-1.
If they're gonna throw deep, if they're gonna throw into these small windows, just make sure there's a.
So what are your people to look out for this Trinity O-line, Josh?
You know, on this O-line, I'm always looking out for PJ, Paul Jackson. He is the 5th on the line. He's really grown a lot. He's actually still a junior, but I've seen a lot of improvement from him this year. Really excited to see where he goes.
And he's a handler, correct?
He's a handler, yeah. You got to be worried about all 3 of Trinity's handlers here.
Which are it's Trevor,
Jake, and PJ. You got 3, 5, and 6 on the line.
Okay. Nice pull. Flicking down to Mark. That probably won't happen ever again. Nice move. Dangerous reset.
Yeah,
That's
close catch there. It's the upline to Sam.
No deep shot. Looking reset early. That's nice.
Strikes open.
Pretty.
He gets there.
It's definitely a deep shot.
It's
Yep.
up. It's up to Tanner. It's a bomb. Oh. A lot of contact there between 2 UTSA players, but Trinity cannot come down with it.
Really good effort, though. That was really close. And I like the shot.
I like the shot.
It was just a little too floaty, honestly.
This hung for a little bit, and UTSA had time to catch up.
But that's another thing that me and you were talking about before the game. You see strike, they are always going to shoot it on both
Power
teams.
position.
It's just too addictive.
I think just take a deep breath. They're playing great. And on their home turf, you get one break, continue to score, keep this game going on.
I like the defense by the Trinity Cutters. They were all underneath, except for unfortunate there. Nice defense. Nice handler defense.
I think, honestly,
The swing.
the biggest thing that I have so far is that both teams have really not been competing with their deep shots. I think Ethan on UTSA is the only one who's
Oh, big fake. Nice under to Soren. Any continue? No, not really. Nice swing. That's too much.
Wimby is there for the D.
Is that Wimby's cousin?
That is not Wimby's cousin. That is Wimby himself.
Oh, I
don't know
see.
who Wimby's cousin is. I can check.
You know, it's just that chemistry.
Nice catch. Nice poach by Flick. Take away the open undercut. Oh, some kind of call. Guess it's a travel call.
That call would be travel.
Wow.
Traveler's call if their pivot foot was moving. That
Wow, nice catch.
Nice fill from Trinity.
it does.
Looking upfield, he has an option. Continue under his bump. Has power. Will he shoot? He won't.
I really like a break side swing here. The mark was super flat.
Absolutely.
I really,
Nice.
really appreciate the patience here. Again, like I was just saying, I feel like they're really
Great catch from Steven. Call on the field.
I really like
Don't know what call. Probably a pick or something.
Injury, I think.
Oh,
injury
injury, I
from
see.
Wimby.
Unfortunate. Hopefully he's okay. There's still a lot of game left.
Doesn't look too serious. He has struggled in the past with things like asthma, so it might be
I see.
that. Hitting early.
I think that's stress from the big game. I think he's a little worked up.
Maybe. He's got a lot on his shoulders. He's definitely one of Trinity's best threats in the end zone.
Or do you think it was a fake injury to sub James on near the end zone?
Great undercut from
Nice.
James. And he hits a bladey hammer. It is not going to be caught.
Is that a look that James normally throws?
That is not a look that James normally throws. But you know, with the under the lights, magic can happen, and unfortunately, it did not come through that time. Great defense from Jake.
Big banana
Wide
throw.
swing.
I like that.
We know Flick and Tucci are super comfortable doing that. I think that's what will really define this game is Trinity and UTSA's willingness to swing and throw deep.
I would completely agree on the swing part.
They don't-
UTSA, in my opinion, not big on deep shots typically, unless it's Ethan and maybe Dre. But if Trinity cannot stop the Tucci and Flick like give and go, they're going to be in serious trouble.
The same can normally be said about Trinity. Definitely not a huck-heavy team either. But I think if we see more hucks like that, it'll start to stretch the field out and make defenders adjust.
I think that's completely fair. Long point.
Yeah, long point for sure.
Got James picking up. Looks like Jacob's first look. Wow. Crazy throw. No. Yeah.
Foul on the field. Yeah.
Oh, they're actually talking about it. From up here, that looked like a foul.
Yeah, I mean, you know, best perspective, we might not have it, but up here it looks like
I
a
don't
pretty,
think so. I'm pretty sure I always have best perspective.
Right, uncontested.
Nice.
Comes back. This is in.
Oh.
Miscommunication there.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it. This was live. I may be a
Probably gonna look to Tucci here. Look at the bump. Yep. He's so overly cautious on him almost. I kind of wish he'd let it loose a little bit more. Easy
Another
score.
by UTSA.
That makes it 3-1.
3-1, yeah.
So what do you think's going wrong for Trinity so far, Josh?
I think UTSA is playing great handler defense. The resets are seeming pretty hard for Trinity. Some miscommunications here and there. I think obviously it's a big game. People are a little over-eager. And they need to commit to their cuts a little bit more. But I think UTSA just looks more comfortable getting the disc to their best players.
I would agree, actually.
Both of us are very used to that. You know, we've been on games where.
So is this looking like a D-line that's rolling on to play offense
This
for?
doesn't look like a D-line, yeah, coming
Okay.
out,
So giving the O-line a break, you think?
for sure. That was a pretty long point.
So for this line, who do you think is the people to look out for?
I mean, you know, I have been very impressed by DeMarcus's recovery. For those who don't know, DeMarcus shattered his kneecap this summer playing Frisbee. And he has been going to PT consistently, constantly. He's gotten a lot healthier. You'll still see a little bit of unsureness in his body when he plays, but he's really been cooking recently. And now James getting back on the field. James is a monster on defense, but he is a threat on offense as well with a great deep shot. And the spirit that Hugh and Royce have, it's pretty special. They can do special things when they're focused.
I feel like James is probably y'all's best player. You think so?
I'm not sure. I think a lot of people really shine in different ways, but James has definitely been a very consistent player and has brought a lot of height to our ceiling at Trinity.
See, for UTSA, looking like an O-line also. It's like half and half D-line, half O-line. Got a couple subs out. Looking to give Tucci and Flick a breather.
And it's the right decision.
Probably. They're going to need to play a lot, especially if the game gets close.
Huh. Disc called inbounds. I'm very surprised.
I'm not going to lie.
I thought the pole was very out of bounds.
I didn't see it go to the pole. Dangerous
Nice
under.
play from Trevor.
Nice
Nice
move.
skate
Nice
shot.
move.
And the hut comes off. It's to Will. He has the read.
Oh. So unfortunate,
He
actually.
had the read, but it goes through his hands.
That man has been in the library learning, but that was a great read. You know, sometimes those hands.
I think it's a really big missed opportunity
Yeah.
for Trinity there.
I agree.
But stuff like that kind of breaks your heart when you're already down.
The good news is they have UTSA in the end zone now, and all they need is some solid defense to get the
I wouldn't be
back.
surprised to see an almost immediate deep cut here from James. No, he goes under. Nice poach. Wow. Probably reset here. Gonna look at Ethan.
A nice trap of the
Nice.
throw comes off, and Ethan gets it.
Nice up line from Ethan.
This
Big
is
shot.
up. It's another deep ball. If UTSA read it. A lot of hand waving there, but
Looks like a foul was called. Or, no? Oh, I see. Henry, the guy in the orange cleats, wanted to call. Oh, no, looks like there was a call. There was a lot of contact, but I didn't see anything too egregious from up here at least.
I agree. I think there was a lot of hand waving. Maybe someone got freaked out they were going to get hit, but I did not see any actual contact.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
see how the players resolve it, though.
looks like a contested foul. Honestly, lucky break for UTSA. I did not like that look personally. This is not thrown particularly well from Ethan. He needs to clean those up if they want to keep this lead, I think.
Yeah.
Nice swing.
That disc just does not make it to the receiver's hands.
Is that a just don't lie, Josh?
You know what? I would never say that.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Maybe you
Honestly,
shouldn't, yeah.
I don't think that was the situation.
I see. All right, I really like to see a little more disc movement. Kind of been swinging it and keeping it where it's swung to. Colby just wide open. Easy score.
Great cut.
Also, great throw from Ethan, I think. I think he really made up for that last deep shot. That's a difficult throw to put it out into space over his shoulder like that. So
It was
it's really
really well
impressive.
placed.
You can celebrate too. Actually, operating here is infamous.
Now 4-1, right?
4-1. Looks like Trinity called a timeout.
It's probably a good
Talk
call.
and recenter.
What do you think, Lambo, or what would you be saying to them if you were down there right now?
You know what? I think that the nerves are getting them a little bit. I've seen these handler resets. I think people are open, but they're afraid to either throw it or continue with the cut. Causing some miscommunications, causing high stalls, and as long as Trinity cleans that up, I think the play will be fine. I don't think they've had bad deep shots. I don't think they've had a ton of unlucky drops. I think it's a little bit of miscommunication in the backfield.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like it's a lot of both teams have had some drops, some some simple mistakes, but it does feel like, we've been around the Trinity guys a lot lately. They are like almost too hyped for this game. It feels like, where as someone who played last year, it's like I remember being nervous and it wasn't. I feel like we didn't take it as seriously as they are this year. Where it seems like this is pretty much everything for them this semester.
There's a lot of energy behind this game for sure.
I think for UTSA though, if I was down there, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't fix what's not broken.
Sure.
But I would like I said, I mentioned before, right before Ethan took that deep shot, I would like a little more handler movement. That's kind of something that I preach to them a lot. Is I don't want the handler standing still. When they throw it, I want them to get rid of it or to push up. Right now they're just kind of swinging, standing there. I don't like the stagnation, and I think Trinity can adapt to that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Which I think Trinity has looked really good at so far, where when it's in the handler space and they're able to reset properly, they've been moving really nicely.
I agree.
But they just keep getting stuck. Really should have bought water.
I have some.
They're not playing the perfect game by anyone, but I feel like they're getting lucky.
I think definitely what Jake was saying, yeah,
Yeah, games like this are tough because, simple mistakes are going to happen when the nerves are up and the lights are on. It's just about which team can survive those mistakes better and capitalize when the other team makes mistakes.
Yeah, I think Trinity, even though they're down 3, and the higher level you get, that's really dangerous. I think they're totally fine right now. It's super easy for them to make this comeback because UT is feeling the same things that Trinity are. It's just, not manifesting the same way right now.
Yeah. Game is definitely still winnable for both teams. Not nearly over.
Interestingly, it looks like even after the timeout, UTSA is not playing what I would expect from their D-line. Looks like another merge of half O-line, half subs, a couple D-line guys. What is Trinity playing here? Is this standard O? Looks like it.
This looks like a standard O from Trinity, yes.
Looks pretty almost kill, I feel like, for most of them. I
Yeah,
like I
one
recognize
thing
all
I am
these
noticing
guys.
is that James is out there, and James is normally a core part of the D-line.
He's played 2 points, the 2 most recent points, so I wonder if he's going to be tired.
I think after that timeout, he's feeling fresh, feeling anxious to get back on the field. Can't blame him.
Yeah. It's hard not to want to play every point when you're one of the captains.
Absolutely.
They put in all that time, all that energy.
Especially as a senior, you don't get too many opportunities like this. I'm sure his family's here. It's a fun game. It'd be a more fun game to win.
True. Can't argue with that.
Slight offsides from UTSA.
What? I don't think that was offsides. I think that was, unless I was looking at the wrong line.
I think it's also important to mention that
Free under, nice.
I think that's really important. I think that's something that UTSA has been doing well, getting that first under really easily. Training and start doing that, I think things will really improve.
Looks like a foul was called in the hand block.
Pretty similar situation to earlier.
One thing that I noticed just now is and that whenever he caught that, the mark was super flat, and he continued to look upfield for 4 seconds, and then the handler defense tightened up whenever they could have gotten that free swing right away. Yeah. I think if Trinity keeps doing this, they're going to really struggle because they're kind of just feeding into UTSA's defensive scheme.
I've noticed that Trinity is super comfortable with bumps off that first under, but they're a bit less comfortable with cutters just quickly swinging. Another foul call on the field.
No contest on Josh.
Yeah. Like the spirit. No contest. I think it was a good play.
When the disc comes off, maybe hand blocked or maybe just slipped.
I'm going to say that I feel like that probably slipped. That release was really fast.
Yeah.
James needs to chill out just a little bit, I think.
I think it's a super close matchup, and I don't think it's a point where either team needs to start shooting to win.
Yeah.
I think Trinity needs to focus on playing their game.
Big under for
Another
Josh.
really open under.
Another one.
Comes down the disc. And this is up short. Looks like it's caught. And it might be.
Maybe a contested call. I think that was up from up
it
here.
It looks
at
pretty
least.
up to me as well.
But I do not blame the Trinity guys for contesting that, especially in a high stakes game.
The only thing I might say is he might not have had full control of it before he used the ground to get it back solidly in his hand. That might be the call.
I think that's completely fair too.
Get a reenactment. Oh, yep, there's the reenactment. He's telling you exactly how he caught the disc and where he caught it.
Look, there was this mismarking the term.
The fans were adamant that was
Contest, no contest. That's all you
I really like to wrap this up. It's it's nice to talk about it, but don't prolong the game.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take too long.
On
It's like a
close catch
contest
like
though.
that, I mean, both teams are going to have their perspective on it. It's best just to talk it out, contest, and send it back.
Looks like an end zone formation. Nice down the line. Looks like a pick or something.
I think maybe Josh ran into Sam there while chasing. Combination of a pick and a foul.
I see.
All right, looks like it's a pick, so it's going back to the thrower.
Well, at this point, I'd really like to see a reset here. The resets are kind of far. Looks like Dre's shifting over. It's nice defense.
PJ played great defense there.
A little too much dancing. I don't really like the idea of Ava pushing out to make room for Dre. I kind of like Ava to just make her move quickly and then have Dre follow up. Nice move by Trevor. Kind of. Yeah.
like that disc is still up. Caught by PJ and hucked. Hucked to Wimby. He has a trail on it. He will catch it. Caught by Wimby. 1 yard out from the end zone. Can they convert here? He looks for a dump maybe. The stall's got to be pretty
stall's
high.
Gotta be high.
Is stall being called?
Yeah.
Dump to
wow.
Jake.
Okay.
And thrown. That is a score by Trinity.
Two amazing plays together and really get this momentum going. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to start building and just
Yeah, this is a great throw from PJ. Kind of thought it was going to be some conservation of greatness where he immediately diving
That's
catch
what I was
into
worried
Huck.
about, yeah.
You know, as a player, you feel like you have to do that, but it usually doesn't go well. That one was great. That was a great shot. Floated out way out in space. I mean, that was a huge throw. That was like 80 yards almost.
Yeah, really great throw.
And then really great patience on the goal line. Interested to hear what the stall was out there. Kind of wish I had like a timer for that because that felt really long, but no call. So is what it is.
I think 10 seconds may have passed, but I'm not sure that the UTSA player was actually stalling.
Yeah, that's
because
what I would
the
assume.
Trinity players were very chill.
Yeah. Kind of an unfortunate missed opportunity from UTSA to be right on the goal line like that, and then change their resetting scheme because we do not do that. Like, you know, push one person out and then have the other person come in. I think that's really strange. Kind of makes me mad to see that, honestly, and then have that exact thing happen where they get scored on for it. But great defense by PJ into great throw. Really feel like there should be a thrower bookings, you know? We just don't get enough appreciation.
You know what? Assist throwers never get the appreciation.
Hockey assists are a lot cooler than actual assists, I just want to say.
I agree.
The score above the high school.
That was Jadron and I all last year.
All right, traditional O-line look, it looks like, for UTSA. Center to Ethan.
Nice floaty pull.
Not a lot of
This
moves.
comes off. It's a nice throw. There's touch on it. Can he catch up, though? Ooh, he catches up. That just floated a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought that was a great throw.
Yeah, I still think it was. It just might have been needed to be thrown a little earlier, but great recovery defense from the defender to kind of catch up, seeing that it was a floaty disc and not giving up on it.
Him not giving up there is huge. Saves the point.
Big reset. Nice move.
Nice move by Royce. Goes back to PJ. They
like
want the
that.
disc in PJ's hands. Makes sense.
45 is way too deep right now. Nice defense by James.
I agree. I think the turbulent stack is just a bit too far away there. Makes it hard for that under to get open.
All right, will Trinity adjust to the situation we talked about earlier where they were too far break side and they were on the wrong side?
And that is a catch. That was a close catch. This time, UTSA actually opts for the backhand and breaks the mark.
Yeah, I think the mark was much better there, considering he had to throw the break throw and he just wasn't given the free inside. But the Trinity defender is still on the wrong side of the end zone, thinking of foreside as like, oh, I must be on this side of my guy, when that's not really a lane at the time. Throwing it to that far lane when you're on the sideline is basically impossible. Still would really like to see them adjust that because it's a really easy fix if they can just kind of lock in, especially because they have time to set up.
Especially with Trinity's height, I think you want to push them away from the disc, force a floaty throw that you get to make the first play on.
I think that's, yeah. UTSA, not the tallest team. But just to elaborate on what we were saying earlier about the stack being too far, 45 was like 40, 50 yards away from the thrower. And at that point, if there's any defender on them, like they're basically covered no matter how far you throw it because it just takes too long for the disc to get there. And it cuts off so much of the field to where they can't really use the deep space as long as he's there.
Yep.
So I'd really like to see them push out into the deep space and then come back in quickly and not just sit there waiting for a look because it shouldn't come, honestly.
I think that's the big thing is they aren't utilizing their deep cuts to create undercuts either. They're cutting deep, kind of resetting their stance and then cutting under. And it's giving UTSA and defense in general time to catch up and get a good position again.
Is it, score is now
5-2, I think.
5-2? Okay, that's what I thought. Keeping score is like the thing that all Ultimate players are bad at, so I apologize. PJ on another point.
I will say PJ can play as much as he needed to. I think he might have. Nice deep throw by Turbulence. Will they catch up? It's so close. He bids and he just barely misses. A great effort from Steven.
Oh.
Didn't know if that was in or out. Man,
It's one of those catches where, even though I'm kind of a biased spectator here, I'm rooting for UTSA. I'd really like to see that get caught. Just because, like, you love to see that effort. It's tough to see that kind of drop happen.
I was really impressed to see Steven do that. I don't normally see Steven make bids like that, so I think it really emphasized just how much everyone cares about this game.
Yeah, I think that was another example of power position into instant deep shot every time. As soon as Jake caught that strike, he was immediately looking deep. I think it was a good look, but what is? Oh, some kind of call in the play where Trinity still has the disc. I'm not sure what happened.
I'm not sure how it went to PJ.
Yeah.
Because if it was a foul on the catch, then it should have gone back to Steven. Well, anyways, Turbulence manages to convert there. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, that was really strange. Because it didn't seem like there was much of a discussion happening. I didn't see like a pause in them setting up. It just Trinity just kind of walked down, picked up the disc, and moved on. Really interested to hear what happened there.
Yeah, I thought that UTSA was setting up and PJ was going to get the disc just to be nice, but PJ walked it to the goal line and scored. I don't know.
Job doesn't change. O-line did their job.
Interesting.
Even if it was pretty
Well, it is what it is. Trinity scores, and now it's 5-3.
5-3, yes.
Is that a break?
That was a break, yeah.
Oh, wow.
keep riding. They need to keep riding the wave. They need to.
So that's 2 breaks for Trinity and
No,
only.
that was a hold.
Okay, it was a
Because
hold.
that was an O-line.
Okay, that makes sense, yes. So PJ gets his much-deserved rest, and we
Absolutely.
see James and DK come back out. Looks like UTSA is running a pretty standard O-line. I don't see anyone that out of the ordinary for them. People to look out for them. James in the neon cleats, you can see they're bright green,
Sure.
super fast, kind of the rising talent of like the rookie crop of guys this year. Kind of came in, and you know when someone has like that cutter sauce where like he shows up and he's just fast and he understands space.
I mean, he has neon cleats.
Of
He
course,
better be good.
yeah. So be scared of him going deep after every first look. I think when Dre or Ethan have the disc. Much better pull than earlier.
With Ethan out there on the field, I mean, he should be doing that. Ethan has a very consistent deep throw from what I've seen.
Yep,
And
there it is.
There's a deep
There
throw.
it is.
Seems a very floaty again, though. Will and Hugh might have a play on this. Hugh comes down with it. He walks to the goal line and throws it to Royce.
Nice
James
catch, nice
catches
catch.
that.
Nice under, looking for a bump it looks like. Nope, looks upfield. Now reset. Now Dre. Playing a
Nice
little.
swing from DeMarcus. We love to see that. Throw to James. James is really working back on that handler set well. Nice break side throw to Pierce right in the middle of the field.
Oh my.
And he instantly puts it up, but
Definitely a freshman kind of move there, I feel like. Nerves. I
feeling
don't
the
think
momentum,
he had, his feet set really, was ready to actually throw that. Just a little bit of nerves, I think.
You think going for the dig, maybe the deep throw comes off, but Jake is there first. Little push in the back.
Nice defense. That looked like a bailout throw. I'm not sure how that would have gone off otherwise.
Nice break side throw to Pierce. Pierce gives it to James. Will is deep, but he's a little too deep. Oh, the throw comes off, but it is not a good throw. Maybe just a punt. That's what we'll call it.
First semester of college, huck defense is always a good strategy, All right, we see Dre picking up. Taking in their time to set up. Ethan and Henry, the other 2 handlers, are still 20 yards upfield. Kind of would like a pre-stall here, just because this is kind of silly. We'd like to see a little bit of pace, I think.
If I'm correct, the half cap did go off, so the first team to score here
Oh, really?
will end the half.
Wow. Look at
Another
that.
turn for Trinity. I really like how Trinity's playing defense. I think UTSA is starting to opt into the deep throw a little bit too much, but Trinity is also having trouble really using the momentum well. They're having good movement, but then it gets a little bit too much.
Yeah, deep shot's not looking too great for UTSA right now. Big poach from Dre.
He hits the back around catch. That's a point. That is halftime, I believe. We will see.
That's a club player throw. He may have only one ACL, but his hands still work very well. Doesn't look like they know that it's half cap, if that is the case. Looks like they're straight back out there.
I will say I heard that from the live casters down in the stands, so it could be incorrect.
Did it come from Sky? Because I wouldn't listen to a word Sky says, ever. Looks like a timeout call, though, at the very least. I would assume it's timeout since Trinity still has somewhat of a line out there.
Yeah.
But it looks like a timeout call, unless they're going to make this really quick.
UTSA is going back out, so maybe just a quick line call. They want to get a kill line to send this to half. Maybe half cap went off last point.
How did you feel playing with observers for the first time at regionals? That was really stressful. The time between points is so small compared to what these college kids actually think it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Calling timeouts, man, I thought timeouts were awesome before. They are short when they're observers.
Yeah.
Being on the sideline was tough. They were not happy with you being even close to the field because they wanted to run up and down the sideline. And I made the mistake when I had a foul incident. The observer started jogging up to me, so I instantly looked at him and just started talking to him instead of having a conversation with the guy who actually fouled me. But yeah, I was a little starstruck, I guess. Never played with an observer.
It is like a weird feeling when you're like, wow, we've made it.
Yeah.
There are refs here?
I'm a real player now.
All right, so I think this would be really big for Trinity. They really need this point, I feel like. You don't want to go into half with such a massive, score gap. At that point, the clock is almost your biggest enemy than trying to actually erase the 13. It's just race to whoever can hold the lead until the timer goes out,
Absolutely.
which may definitely happen in this game, I feel like. Nice pull.
Yeah, great pull by Josh. PJ will catch it.
So brave.
Trevor. These unders are open for Trinity right now, but they're stuck in the sideline.
Yeah, they're running out of space. Nice swing. Too much movement on the mark. Really flat here.
Another nice swing. A little far, but he gets it. Swings even all the way further. Trinity has so much room to flick with, but they opt for the backhand and it ends up being caught. The unintended receiver throws across the field. PJ will catch it. PJ just the garbage collector tonight. Resets to Tanner. Swings
like
it
that.
again. Wide open flick field. Gets it at
But nice bump, nice bump.
nice bump. Power's there, but he doesn't trust the throw. Stevens coming under. He throws it to him.
Really
Look for
long
another
space.
swing here. Great. Trinity's really playing their system well now. It looks great.
Really doing a great job of keeping the stall count low and
Yeah.
looking to swing really early.
Looking great on the edge of the end zone, really holstering, playing really chilly. Look at this.
And he catches it. That's a score. Great offense by Trinity there. Really nothing to say.
Really feel like Trinity, their offensive system is incredibly simple. It is about as standard, I feel at least,
Yes,
as
absolutely.
a Hosek can get. It's same kind of movements over and over again. But whenever there's a reason it's so standard because it works, and as long as they can keep kind of doing those fundamentals over and over again, I really think that they'll have a lot more success going into the rest of this game, which still feels like we're still playing. There's no. Sounds like Sky was lying to you on the half cap thing.
I think he might have been.
That fraud.
I'm thinking that if UTSA had scored there, it would have been a huge lead, but I think Trinity gained that score, stopping half from going off. Now they have another opportunity to get a break. Really kills UTSA's momentum, and if Trinity keeps playing like that, UTSA is going to have to start forcing turns instead of just watching them happen.
6-4? Or is it 6-4?
Yeah, 6-4. Yeah.
Yeah, that lead's slowly shrinking. I mean, UTSA has an opportunity to, push it back up since they're on offense to start here, but, it was 2-5. That feels a lot worse than 6-4.
Absolutely.
Even though it's only a 1-point difference.
Yeah.
Something about that is just like, when it's more than 2 breaks, it like gets in your head, I feel like.
And with Turbulence starting off defense in the first half of this game, they'll be getting the disc back after halftime.
Defense to start?
Yeah, they broke.
They're on offense, yeah. Looks like we're getting a sprinter start from one of the Trinity players. He better get done there first.
He had the head tucked too. That was awesome.
Big swing. Oh, really dangerous.
Scary.
Nice
Does
under.
the right thing and pulls off, not causing dangerous play.
Definitely a swing here. Nice.
Nice dig.
Nice dig.
Deep throw goes off. It's floaty. It's floaty. And he catches it.
That was a beautiful throw. There's really not much to say there.
Really nice throw.
I don't think that Jake was playing that far off, really. I felt like he was in the right spot, but it was just like almost like a chemistry thing where I felt like Dre threw that as Flick, my bad, was like making his cut. I feel like he hadn't even really started to move downfield before that was in the air. It's just a beautiful throw from Dre. So that is halftime, 7-4. I think that's pretty similar to last year, if I'm not mistaken. It was somewhere around there.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Don't remember?
No clue.
You played every minute of that game.
I did not play every minute, and I really don't know. I'm having struggling to keep score in this game, and I'm just watching. So.
Yeah, I think overall, I think it was a pretty decent half from both teams. Just I feel like a lot of nerves from Trinity, and UTSA with just a little bit less, and that is all it really takes sometimes, especially when your teams are so evenly matched, which I feel these two teams are. It really doesn't take much to get that lead. You're good.
If I had to guess, that's probably what Trinity's talking about right now. Just trying to take a deep breath. I think they proved that offensive point where they've had that great system play, that they have a good system. They have a basic system, but they can play it well. And if they just play it well, the game is in their hands. They can control it, get a couple turns on defense, keep it on offense. They can win this game. They just got to settle down a little bit, take a deep breath, and get the nerves in control.
All right. Do you want to take a couple deep breaths and take a break for a minute?
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right. Sounds good. See you all in a minute.
Yeah, we'll be back. Yeah, sure.
are back after halftime. You know, both teams got a chance to regroup, talk about what they need to fix. You know, again, I've asked you, you're the coach, what do you think?
Mike's on, yeah.
Did you have a chance to go chat with the Trinity guys at all?
I did not. I was trying to get down there, maybe tell them to just take a deep breath, play the system, all the normal stuff, but didn't make it down there in time.
Yeah, didn't have too much time. Halftime wasn't too long. I did talk to Jacob a little bit about some of the stuff that we were talking about. You know, I thought UTSA's end zone marks were too flat, and Trinity shooting it off power every time. It's just one of those things where you kind of have to adapt to that kind of style. But that's another thing that I wish Trinity kind of would adapt to is like they go flat too much, I think, when it's not like a systemic choice. Like they're not choosing to go flat mark, they're just kind of falling asleep on the mark just a little bit and going too flat and getting punished for it. It's really small mistakes like that really add up very quickly.
Absolutely.
All right, here's the ball. Holy offsides. Kind of wish they would call that. That was too much.
That was maybe too much. I will say, though, the people offsides are cutter defenders, so it's not impacting the game too much.
Looks like some kind of contact. Good field position for Trinity already, though.
Absolutely.
Halfway down the field. Nice throw.
Great undercut by Steven Shaw.
Really like a swing here. He's flat. Nice punish. And there's the...
Ooh,
wow.
Great layout from Flick, but Jay comes up with it. Gives it back to PJ. Steven with another great undercut.
Wow, spun. Nice chili.
Good holster.
Yep.
Gives it to Jake. Plays the 1v2. Sam manages to catch it.
Front cone? No front cone. Big swing. Oh, wow. Oh. Kind of a visionary look. I had no idea where that was going until he was literally about to catch it. But another really close, drop for Trinity there.
I don't hate the look. I think Trinity's doing a good job in the second half of really trusting their handlers. They're trying to get it back to the handlers as often as possible. I think that's the right decision. And eventually the handlers will get those in the end zone. They will be caught.
I do think, though, that Trinity could have taken just a half second to slow down there, send it to the next handler, and then have them throw a much easier throw.
Absolutely.
Instead of trying to go for like a, hero syndrome kind of throw.
Another big banana throw. This one's super floaty, though. PJ might come down with it. PJ comes down
Nice
with
defense.
it.
He got it back.
Throws a scooper. Trevor catches it. Almost taken away by the same team. That's a score for Trinity. That's a hold.
Yep. And really, that's what you want to see coming out of half. Is, even though I'm rooting for UTSA here, that like you want a close game. That is how it starts. Is just a nice, easy-ish hold for Trinity there. We'll see if how UTSA responds. So how long do you think until Trinity starts to really put their foot on the gas and like call a kill line here, or like start running the same, that top 7 more than 1 point in a row? Because I know they were saving legs for this game, when they had the tournament this morning.
Yeah. Trinity has had a lot of injuries recently, which definitely affects how they're calling lines tonight. But
think so? You think they're not going to try and ignore that for this, the big game?
I think as it gets down to the wire, they will start ignoring that, and players will start playing through whatever pain they're feeling. 2 of the guys, especially that I know are injured, James and Trevor, I know they will play through pain no matter what.
And what are they both dealing with?
James took a knee to his knee the other night in practice, and just dealing with some swelling and a little bit of kind of almost tendonitis pain down there. And Trevor twisted his ankle pretty badly 2 weeks ago.
I see.
Definitely both injuries that you can play through, but
never want
don't want them to be doing
yeah.
that for sure. Nice floaty pull by Trinity, comes back a little bit.
Would have liked to see that get caught. I don't think that would have been too difficult of a catch. Big shot. Yep, there it is.
Throw comes off, but I think it's way too far.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but I feel like that had too much OI on it, and it kind of bladed in almost.
That's what it looked like, yeah.
Would have liked a little bit of a flatter release, a little slower, which we know that Dre has because he threw that to Flick to end the first half, honestly. But deep shots are hard.
Yeah. Do you think that was a set play? It looked like they were definitely on the same page there.
Yeah, I think James's brain is like me run deep pretty much always. So
once again, Trinity's host stack is super far away. Wow, what a throw from PJ.
Wow.
There is just enough touch on that for Hugh to get there, and he puts it out for Will, and Will catches that. That's a break for Trinity.
You'd love to see it, and Trinity's being so excited. So
Trinity starts storming the field. All of a sudden, that lead that UTSA had seems a lot less impressive.
That makes it 7-6.
Yes.
Yep. Like we said earlier, you know, two-point game is not that big of a deal. So, like, Trinity is nowhere. This game is nowhere near done. Like for either team.
Absolutely.
And really, I don't know if there's really that much to say about like how UTSA played defense there. I really feel like there's just, you know, a dime is a dime, and like, you know, that was a great throw from PJ. I really liked that his fellow cutter. I don't know who exactly it was, but he followed him down the entire way of the field. Even though it wasn't for him, he was immediately ready to score the next continuation, while, you know, UTSA's defender, whoever it was just, you know, watching the disc and ended up, you know, 30 yards behind, unable to play defense. It's really one of those things where you just kind of have to believe in your teammates and your thrower that like it's going to get caught, and you just need to like, and on defense that like the throw is going to get caught. There's no reason to watch it, you know,
absolutely
wait and see.
That is Will Hamilton. He is an absolute grinder. He is the only freshman I've ever seen chest high layout for D's.
On a pro player, I might add.
On a pro player. Yeah, I think where UTSA was playing great defense is Dre is doing a good job of recognizing how far back the host stack is and kind of starting to poach into that middle of the field. Because his person's so far away and there's other people deep, he's not worried about his guy running deep, so he's poaching that middle of the field.
Yeah, UTSA is setting up in a pretty standard host stack here, 20 yards, nothing crazy.
This huck goes off. Looks like Wimby has a good read on it, but he's backpedaling, gets the D.
Yeah, another Blady huck from UTSA, kind of curving too much OI and not enough like flat, not flat enough for it to actually carry as far as he was trying to get it. Nice under.
We'd love to see a swing here.
Yep. Another flat mark.
They swing it all the way. Oh.
Nice.
These unders are super open.
Another flat mark. Nice.
Another flat mark. I wonder, do you think this is intentional?
I can tell you right now that it's not, because I went down to the field to complain to Jacob about what I was seeing, and that was the main thing. And I was like, "Guy, Jacob, what are they doing?" And it's really nice to see that, you know, they take feedback really well and apply it really quickly. But they give another chance.
In all fairness, I think doing a flat mark is a very understandable response in a high nervous game like this. You know, you want to be able to impact the play as much as possible, and again, that hand block right is super rewarding. But UTSA also has to step back, and Trinity as well, and realize that, you know, they're playing one half of the defense, and they need to make sure they're sealing off these throws.
Yeah, we don't really like to see hero ball from either side of the field, whether it's O or D. Great catch from Colby.
Great catch.
Nice bump.
Off too.
Really like a swing here. Still would really like a swing here.
This is something I'm noticing. I feel like Trinity's doing a much better job of sealing off these rounds, and it's making UTSA get a little stuck on the sideline. Looks like a stall call actually came off. I mean, this doesn't matter. The distance coming back unless it's rescinded. Turn.
I feel like, especially considering to the previous one that we thought was going to be a stall out, that one felt a little fast for me. I didn't think that was the 10. It looks like he's motioning a fast count where he's like 9-10.
Absolutely.
Which, you know, we've all been, anyone that's played Frisbee, we've all been there. It is so hard to not just jump onto that 10 immediately. So don't blame the Trinity player, but I would like to see good spirit if that indeed actually happened.
Yeah. Now, the throw was incomplete, but a contested stall should stop play.
Yeah.
So I think that this will come back, even though it was a turn.
Probably not good enough to count it as a lucky break, considering he's probably still on a really high stall with not many options. As you can see, there's almost like a cup around him with PJ poaching in, and now they're moving. I'm not I guess they're going back to where before. Actually, sure. Shouldn't they stay where they were when the stall was called? Oh, great around. I'd like to see that.
Ooh, little stumble by Dre there.
Looks to his
For another
reset.
strike. It's not open though. He hucks it. Josh is open deep, but Trevor has the play on it maybe. He catches that. That is a score.
And that's Elias completely deserved. That catch was crazy.
I disagree.
It looks like there may have been another
call
down here on the field. It can't have been a stall. That definitely wasn't 10 seconds.
Yeah, maybe it was a stall again on Willie on the sideline, but kind of wish that was communicated to everyone a little faster.
Yeah,
because
especially with the sideline right here, I feel like
we've had the same.
play sooner.
Maybe it was it looks like it's staying with Dre, so maybe it was a travel call or something.
I imagine the travel call because Dre did stumble earlier, so he might have been a little off balance when he threw it.
Yeah, because that was definitely a bailout look, even though Josh ended up being open.
Never mind.
Oh,
is
looks
a
like
turn,
an
so
actual
maybe the
stall.
Came off.
Ah, there's the pre-stall I asked for earlier. That's how you know this game's serious.
Nice throw to Wimby. Comes down with it. Great snag.
Nice move by
Skinny.
PJ.
The throw comes off, and Steven is there. Can he get to the distant time? He doesn't. Out the back.
Just slightly overthrown. I'm not mad at the throw. That kind of margin for error, that's just barely off. So I think it was a good look.
Yeah.
Another example of the into power, instant deep shot.
Absolutely.
And when you're getting this close to the end zone, those become harder and harder. So
It's
I like the
really
look,
hard
but I think Trinity shouldn't try to steer away from those kind of throws, I think.
I agree. I think it's just challenging to put a clean throw into such a speedy matchup. Both guys there are very fast.
Well, UTSA with another chance. Normal setup again. Hostak slightly farther. Oh no, it's the same.
I will say it feels like Trinity's doing a much better job this half of putting pressure and getting them to high stall counts. He gets the break side backhand off, but Nathan might have a play on it first. Wow, Trinity has a play on it. That's a turn.
It's great defense, honestly.
It really was.
I do think, though, that Willie kind of gave that up a little bit too much, and that I feel like he tried to greed it out and kind of have the guy jump earlier instead of trying to contest it alongside him. We're a little more aggressive on going up for the catch, personally.
Especially with it being a backhand, his defender was on the wrong side.
Yeah, you have body position to start.
Absolutely. And will just leave for deep. The throws are coming off. Strike is.
Wow, great throw.
There's a lot of room.
Wow. Holsters that one. That's really surprising, honestly.
Waiting for another reset. It's kind of crowded there. Gets the backhand off. Great reset.
Round. Nice throw. Nice inside.
Nice inside throw. And the throw comes off. Tanner's there this time, right? Oh.
Another.
Out with the right hand.
Yeah. Another really difficult throw, honestly, where he's trying to fit it in between this gap between these two converging cutters, where he kind of has to OI in this case and kind of throw it a little higher because he can't float it out because there's another defender there. It's another option where it's or another time where it's not a bad throw, but it's too difficult. Offense is too strong in Frisbee, in my opinion, to where I really wish he would just relax just a little bit.
Especially when Trinity has been so consistent with these resets in the second half. Ooh. A tough reset throw doesn't get caught there. I feel like they should just chili here.
Yeah. No one on the four-side reset right now. Looks and sees no one.
Still gets it off.
Yeah, nice that he looked somewhere else immediately.
Oh. Another unfortunate drop. This point is getting long. Players are tired.
And when you get tired, what do players always want to do? They want to huck it more.
They want to get the point over with.
It's getting a little windy to where it's going to be harder and harder, especially as they get more and more tired.
Nice cut. Gets it to him, but Trinity has the opportunity to seal here.
Nice swing. Oh, it looks like a pick was called.
I did see it. It looked like a good call.
Yeah, wind is definitely picking up now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just up here.
I think it'll be stronger up here, but if it's this strong up here, it'll be felt down there for sure.
Great defense.
This backhand's gonna be hard to get off. He just off the dig.
Wow.
It's caught. Dre in the deep space.
Really like this cut from Willie coming across the field from the opposite side wing. It's just so hard to guard because it's so unexpected. Wow. Got to be a deep shot here.
Is there enough touch on it though? It might be out the back.
Looks OB.
Looks
Yeah.
OB, yeah.
I like the look, but interesting that he opted for the backhand with his defender on his backhand side. I think if probably just not confident flicking it in this wind. Personally, I wouldn't be either, so I don't really blame him, especially because Ethan's backhand hooks are so good. But he had to force it into like a tighter window because of his defender.
Trevor's going to pick up the Trinity. He's going to be right on the near sideline, right outside the end zone.
Trevor taking his time, walking up. I would do the same. I imagine they're super gassed at this point. This playing's been going on for a long time. And Trinity has to work the entire way again, which they've had really good success doing. They just haven't been able to punch it in, unfortunately.
Great defense by Dre. Forcing him to go backwards instead.
Really would have liked that to get hit. Unfortunate.
Just not the best throw.
Yeah. It's definitely an open look, but hitting that like cross-cutting cutter is really difficult. Nice. I like that. Vet call from Ethan Miller on the timeout call. Really just want to talk this one through and make sure they punch this one in because they really can't afford to get broken ear again.
Especially with these long points, it's going to be super important to hold on to this lead.
Yeah. Because we should be nearing soft cap somewhat soon, based on what Sky said. But he also said half cap was happening. So I'm not sure I trust anything he says. So maybe they're going to play for another hour. I don't remember exactly when we started. So
yeah, we did start a bit late.
I think it might have been 30 minutes. So definitely a low-scoring game, though. Now that we're kind of getting into the later stages of the game, compared to I feel like last year where I think we almost got we almost finished at 15. Just about. But you can definitely feel the teams getting closer and closer in terms of the level that they're playing at. Now, the nerves are probably fading a little bit. They're all getting a little tired. They probably are too tired to worry about nerves as much. And just kind of getting used to, playing in this environment because it is a lot different.
It is different.
It's definitely a unique environment where I was like surprised at how much I felt it last year. Whenever you make a play on the field and all the sound pushes down onto you, it's a lot. It's an amazing feeling as long as it's, everyone's cheering for you.
Well, you did win last year, Chase, so I'm sure it felt awesome.
I'm sorry, Josh.
Water under the bridge.
Now we can win on mode together. Isn't that awesome?
That's right.
You ready to run back D-line again next year?
I'm so ready for it, yeah. I want to be upset with playing some O-line as well, but we both know that won't happen.
Think so?
I mean, I just can't throw well enough.
Don't worry, I'll fix you, Josh.
Got it.
If you can learn how to teach me how to snap, if you can teach me how to snap when I cut, I'll teach you how to throw.
It's really easy. I don't even do it on purpose.
That's
it just
crazy.
happens.
I imagine every spectator's like, what are they talking about? And honestly, I don't really get it either.
You know what? We're having a super long time out here, so I will just inform the audience. I have this really weird habit where I start snapping before I cut, and I didn't know I had that habit until this summer when players on Alamo pointed it out to me. And then I validated it with the Turbulence players who said, yeah, you've been doing that since forever, so apparently I snap.
Yeah, I think that would do like unrepairable mental damage to me. If someone was just snapping on me all the time as they just cooked me over and over again, I don't know if my ego would be able to like recover from that.
I wish it was on purpose, but it's not. So we see here Trinity is taking a more better stance on defense, right? They're more in between the player and the disc. So that back round goes off, and Josh just has the better read on it. That's a score.
Yeah, that's a great read on a decent throw, in my opinion, where I like the break throw. We love break throws. And it's just another thing where I think it's happened to both teams where they're just a little too active on their marks, wanting to do a little too much, as you were saying earlier, like get the hand block, be the hero, where in my opinion, defense is all about team defense. Like individual defense is really frustrating to play with, unless they are just that guy on that day. And like right now, I don't think I've seen any player that's like dominating the defensive space, where I really would just like both teams to just kind of lock in, play their role, because that shouldn't have happened. I think that was good defense by the Trinity defender on Josh, but he kind of, only half of the defensive system really happened there because the mark was too jumpy.
I think when Josh started to pass that mark, he started to kind of slow down and be like, okay, my guy's on that weak space now. I'm good to chill out a little bit. And the throw still came through, and he just didn't have vision of it.
Yeah, that's really difficult to make a play on, where it's going over your head. It's right over your head. You have to look over your shoulder. You look over that at the wrong time. You can't see it. There's not really much I think the Trinity cutter defender could have done there.
Absolutely. Even with UTSA having a lead here, I think this game will be decided by which team does a better job of playing selflessly and playing their role and playing their system. As someone who has been helping coach out Trinity and has had coaches in the past, system is everything. And if these teams can play their system and capitalize on their good players and good plays, this game is still in both teams' hands.
Yeah, I totally agree. That is something that I've been really big on coaching UTSA this year, is like playing selfless and like, there's such a gap in skill with college players a lot of times. Absolutely. Where you have freshmen and you have people that have been playing for so long or not at all. And it's like getting them to all buy in to, we all have to play the same way. We all need to know how to throw. You can't just be that guy that catches it under and then stares backfield for 10 seconds. Like getting to that point where you can play as a team is a lot more difficult than I feel like it should be. Or it's, it seems like it should be.
Really crazy pull catch there by PJ. That was coming in hot, but he catches it, gets great field position for Trinity. Oh, Rudy reset comes off.
Nice throw to space. Really like this switch. Oh, a little dominator action? Is that what?
I think it might have been, but that throw just wasn't perfect enough.
Yeah. I like that idea. It's a little windier. Play a little small ball with some of your best players. But just an unfortunate, drop again. Nice throw. Nice and early.
It's going to be a reset probably.
Yeah.
Looking upfield, it's going. Wow, that's wild. That was a score.
I'm not going to lie, I thought that was for Eric, the other cutter in the end zone. Oh, it looks like
there
not
might be conversation on the field again.
Oh, it looks like it's good. Oh, wow.
The end of the game.
I guess it's over then.
Trinity 6.
I suppose soft cap went on at some point.
Yeah.
Sorry for not informing y'all. We didn't know.
We did not hear the soft cap go off. We might wait just a little bit to make sure, but it looks like they are lining up. So I think that is game. UTSA 10, Turbulence 6. UTSA for the third year in a row comes home with the men's Alamo City Showdown championship trophy. I don't know. There isn't a real trophy, but they have bragging rights for at least the next year.
It's the memories we made along the way.
The memories we made along the way.
I think that was a really good game, though. I think it's a little anticlimactic in the way it ended there. But, time is a big factor. It's one of those things where you take too long on your timeouts. You let people get away with that. You take too long in between points. And, time really becomes a big factor where, in a game to 13, especially when it's a little windy, and you're playing with, college kids that are still learning, points aren't as fast. So, but I think the level of play was pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the transition periods were a little long, and maybe that took away from Trinity's ability to come back. But, 10-6, that's a pretty big lead to end with. I think I would have liked to see shorter points. I think both teams got a little huck-heavy at times, and the turnovers were pretty consistent. But I think Trinity had a lot of high points, a lot of moments where they really proved that their system can work and does work when they execute on it. And UTSA had a lot of awesome moments too. There are a lot of players out here that I've never seen before in UTSA, and I was really impressed by some of these new guys that I've never seen. I hope that both teams the rest of the year can work to make each other better, right? I think this is the one night of the year that UTSA and Trinity are enemies. Every other day, we should be friends, make each other better.
Yeah, I really agree with that. I think both programs have a lot to look forward to in the next year. I feel like, this was a lot. I think this is a lot more competitive than last year, or it felt like it from a viewer's perspective at least. Where I feel like Trinity is a big team with a lot of young guys. Where I feel like they can really, I'm sure they're not going to be happy that they lost, and that's totally understandable. But I think there's a lot they can take away from this game and be happy about looking forward to future tournaments this semester, next semester, and the showdown next year. And similar for UTSA, where we'll see how it looks next year with the departure of longtime handlers of Ethan and Dre and Flick. So we'll see if they can kind of recoup some of that talent that they might be losing for the next year.
Absolutely. At the very least, that a fire has been lit under Trinity. As always, it's always there. We always want to win this matchup. But we'll see how that works on the younger players who never had the opportunity to play on a stage like this before.
All right. Yeah. Closing thoughts?
I think I already gave them. Unless you have anything, we might just go quiet for a little bit and wait for this next game coming up. Next, we have the women's teams, women's and non-binary for Trinity and UTSA.
Which should be happening probably in about 15 minutes, probably.
Hopefully, yes, very soon.
All right. Well, we will see you all then.
And we are back. Game number 2 between Altitude and Legion is about to start.
What are some of your expectations for this game, Josh? Honestly, I don't know too much about either of these teams.
It's really hard to say. I have some familiarity with Altitude, but I don't know them perfectly well. I know in the past, Altitude has won this matchup the past 2 years. It's almost kind of the inverse of the men's side of the coin. But I think this game is definitely in both teams' hands. UTSA has a lot of really strong players that I know Altitude will want to shut down. And I think the same can be said for Altitude's players. I think this will be an exciting match.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think the big question mark for UTSA, I feel like, is their numbers, where they don't have too many players on the team. They do have, a few subs, so it's not like they're out there savage. But from playing with them, a lot of them are really talented. It's just, can they put the pieces together against a really well-oiled Trinity machine?
Absolutely. UTSA player number 13, Maddie's actually on my league team, and she's been a really awesome part of our team. I think she's a really fantastic player.
Diving catch from my league captain, actually. She's also, I haven't played with her before. She's really impressed me so far. So yeah,
it was a great reset she just had too. Another nice under.
You just say looking good.
Yeah, it looks like good offense.
Big throw here.
Big throw comes off. Kinsey almost gets a hand on it.
Yeah, I like the awareness from Kinsey there to turn and look for the disc.
Here we go. Kinsey picking up the disc here.
Almost a bit of a flat mark.
The leggings,
playing the flat side.
We know exactly who
it comes off. Nice under to Lily Zay, but it's a drop.
Oh, my goodness.
The pressure? You need the pressure?
Yeah, I think both teams are starting to feel out, the pressure from this match. The stands are still pretty full, lots of supporters here. So they're going to be working through some nerves as we get to the start of this game. Another big shot coming off, but Kinsey gets it this time. Good awareness again by her.
Almost some deja vu there. I feel like I watched the same thing happen.
Wow, I would say so.
Wow. There's a little too much heat on that throw. Kinsey's fast, but she's not quite that fast.
Definitely a good look, but those misexecutions will happen. We saw them a lot last game.
Yep.
They're just working through their the beginning struggles.
Wow. Great handler defense from number 9.
Good throw coming off, and this might be Kinsey again. Kinsey comes down with it.
Wow.
Some contact. Goes for the safe throw, but it goes over the heads. Liz might have a play on it, though. Liz comes down with it.
Nice. Great swing.
Oh, just barely a drop.
Just a little farther. It's a tough catch.
A little bit closer now, about 30.
All right, nearing the end zone here. Let's see if UTSA can punch it in.
Okay, a little bit slow to pick it up, trying to set up an offense here. Looks like a home stack from UTSA.
Wow.
The throw comes off.
Wow, what a throw.
And that's a score.
That's in. Absolutely incredible throw. That was like a 25-yard inside throw.
Super nice inside flick, absolutely.
I don't think anyone on Trinity realized that went off, or that could go off.
They were not expecting it. Great throw.
One of the things about those inside throws,
yeah, one thing that I feel like first takeaways from that point, I like the host stack from UTSA. I feel like both offenses look pretty good. They just had a couple small mistakes. But issue is, how do you deal with Kinsey? She's, I feel like there's no way, don't beat around the bush. She's, shown to be a beast on offense and defense. And there you saw her already stat padding her Ds, getting 3 there. And it's when I think about it, it's how do you pull a player like that out of the play where she's not able to, influence so much?
Absolutely. Kinsey is a great player, but Frisbee is a team sport. I think it's interesting to see UTSA and Trinity seem to have very similar offensive systems. So as this game goes on, it'll just be a matter of who's able to execute better. Longtime coach Axel and new coach Gabby on the field giving some play calls for Trinity.
Yeah, I think, considering the success that Trinity's had over the past few years, Axel must be an excellent coach. It's interesting. I'm interested to know what Gabby, coming from that kind of captain's position, is able to provide. Very similar to what we did this year, where you leave the captain role into the assistant coach role. I wonder how much sway she has on that team and what she can really provide. She's an excellent player.
Yeah, Gabby's a really fantastic player, and honestly was a big defining piece in Trinity's offensive system for a long time. I will say when she was playing, she was already often taking a leadership role, so I imagine she had a pretty easy time fitting into the system and coaching the system now. And I know the other players on altitude have a lot of trust for her, with her.
That makes a lot of sense. See UTSA entering the end zone space. Oh, unfortunate drop.
Just out of the hands.
Might be a call on the field.
No, no call.
Looks like no call.
Okay, Trinity's
Just some concern.
right on the far side of the field. Maybe for a bigger pass, it looks like. Oh, there it is.
The deep shot goes up. Great throw by Emily, and Maddie is there. Oh, just right through the hands. Unfortunate. That was a really great throw and a great cut.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask you very soon. Who do you think can fulfill that, or like fill that hole that Gabby left as like that big shooter? I guess that kind of proves it to me right there.
Emily would have definitely been my answer. Even when Gabby was there, Emily was still shooting very often. Emily has a great flick. Interestingly, Gabby often opted for the backhand for her deep shots, but Emily looked for the flicks, and you just saw that fantastic inside flick that ends up in a drop. Almost caught on the second attempt, but not quite. UTSA will be walking out with the disc on the goal line.
I'm just not sure. I'm a little hesitant to make the call. Okay, they're walking it up to the line. You don't want to start your offense in the end zone.
Really heavy under front from Trinity here. Really daring them to throw the deep shot, it looks like.
Looks like another may go off here.
Looking reset.
Looking upfield. It's a big throw.
Oh. I like that look.
I agree. I think there's definitely an angle there. And I like how Trinity is starting with that hard deny under. I think that's always the best way to start until they prove you otherwise, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So you want to make sure that you're trying to make that deep cut to give the handle another way, a little safety valve.
Yeah, you got to get those options picking up now.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh my goodness, what a
I totally missed
Great
it.
D from UTSA.
I think that D was more about anticipation. Really saw the play developing as the Trinity player picked it up.
We see that flat side mark again. We'll see how UTSA responds to it. Cutting out wide. The reset's being looked at. Covered, throw comes off. Great
Nice
throw,
throw,
nice
throw.
cut. Going for the strike. They have a lot of momentum here. The disc is up, it's up.
Can you hear
But it'll be overthrown.
Say the most I do, actually.
I think it's a long point.
I really feel like so far that UTSA has looked really good cutting down the field and their cutter space, but the resets have been a big issue getting open. Interesting to see how they can change what they're looking for and how to adapt to. Really, you can't really play offense without being able to reset, unfortunately.
Another big deep shot. Wow, just a little overthrown. Emily's really having a statement first couple of points saying, I'm here to throw deep and you will guard the deep space. Some great defense by Emily. Throw goes big. Alyssa doesn't play on it, though.
Crazy shot.
Fantastic throw. Maddie comes down with it.
Oh, and
The
just a little
continuation throw
behind.
does not come through.
Looks like we're taking it a little bit slower. Trinity, they do a really good
This is
job.
that point where the point gets long and people get tired,
They do a good job moving it themselves.
and the deep shots will keep coming most likely.
Absolutely. Both teams are definitely feeling the energy a little bit. Great cross-field throw.
Yeah, I
to
like that a
Maddie.
lot.
Players right there, close to each other.
Looking reset. Nice defense.
Looking for
Oh.
a reset. Oh. Just off
Yeah, just
the
didn't really maintain enough eye
line.
contact there to create like a safe, stable throw.
Okay, UTSA's picking it up a little bit. Looks like they start the offense with a little flat.
Oh, I like this cut.
So
Nice strike.
Nice strike. Really good job taking the under lane. Throw comes
Oh.
off. Another unlucky drop.
little cheering from the Trinity. Yeah, I like that. I'll tell you, I'd like to think that my sideline energy.
Another big deep shot coming off. More touch on it this time. She's going to have time to read it.
Oh!
Oh, we love to see the bid. We absolutely love to see it.
It's a great cut. I really like the under fake into the deep shot. Created a lot of separation, and that's what you're really looking for as a thrower. That way you can just kind of loft it out there into space.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, deep shots definitely get more common when both teams get tired, but when you're that open and your defender is getting a little bit more tired, it makes sense to go deep. Another great throw by UTSA.
I like
Come
this
down
instant
with it.
reset. Nice. Continue. Nice. We love
continue. Getting all the
Big
way onto
continue.
the break side. Really fantastic work.
that. All this open side space now. Nice. Great bump.
Fantastic movement happening by UTSA here. Just barely dropped.
I really like that sequence though.
I agree.
One side of the field to the other, always gaining yards. It looks really good, honestly.
If they just keep moving it laterally like that, eventually something will open up in the end zone and they can shoot it.
Yeah, I think an approach like that, going side to side, is so much better than just trying to jam it up the same sideline over and over again.
Another deep shot. Wow.
You know, I think when the Caitlin starts to shoot, she's got to think about where she's shooting.
I do like these deep shots, though. I know not all of them have connected yet, but they look like they're in the right spot
I
mostly,
agree.
almost every time.
I do too. You want to know her fun fact?
Oh my god.
Great attempt on that under D. Person gets away from her a little bit and catches it. Fantastic catch by Maddie.
Wow. They are ready for this score.
I think she's a lefty.
She's a lefty.
She is a lefty.
Ooh, and the turn there.
It's really good defense, taking away the upline space. Like what we were just talking about, it's really hard to score when you only have that little that front corner zone. A swing there would have opened up a lot of space to look for the same option, but with just more space.
Absolutely. UTSA has definitely proven that they're able and willing to swing and move it laterally, so they just keep doing that and they'll see a lot of success.
Looking at a vert setup.
Nice cut. That initial cut gets open. Great throw. UTSA scores again.
And that is 1-1, correct?
0-2.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, you're right. That was the inside. Yeah. Bro, how could I forget about that? That throw was crazy.
Definitely a long second point. We might start to see the impact of UTSA's smaller lines here.
Yeah.
As Trinity is probably able to put on a whole new set of 7 players, but UTSA might not be able to match.
Yeah, I would honestly not even mind a timeout call here, where like it's not really for like a positioning thing. It's just a nice way to take a quick break, drink some water, because some of those players are not gonna be able to come off, and they only have like 10-ish players, it seems like, and that's tough stuff. Playing with points like that is really hard.
It's a super long point. I think taking a break here could be a great idea to preserve their momentum. You come out here tired and UTSA scores quickly, the game might flip on its head.
Yeah, I really feel like I imagine what they're feeling right now is like all that adrenaline. First couple points, you're leading, against, what most people would argue is the favorite, and like that's gonna get you pumping. But at some point, that adrenaline is going to die down a little bit, and that fatigue is going to hit you really fast. We'll see how long they're able to. It's 1 in a floater, right?
Sorry?
1 in a floater on timeouts?
Yeah, I think so.
So we like to see UTSA use both the timeout and the floater this half, I think, just because the second half is likely to be much shorter just due to the time cap.
Definitely. The more you can rest your legs with these small numbers, the better.
Yeah. Even though it's only one game, that really does not matter. It's crazy how fast it hits you when you're giving it
You
everything.
play a long point, and then you get on that line to throw the next pole, and you feel it. Nice pull by UTSA. Trinity running down on it. Might be out of. Looks like it landed inbounds.
That's better than 2Gs. That's crazy.
That's going to be Trinity chocolate with the disc.
Looking reset. Kinsey goes early for the backhand. Nice
Great
grab by
throw.
Kinsey. He's going to go for the deep. To Liz. Great touch put on that and the drop. So unfortunate.
I like what they're doing though. That was a good shot.
Yeah, really like that look. I don't think there's, it's literally just the same thing as Trinity in the previous game, where it's just like it's all about the hands. It's not really much you can do about that. Sometimes you're just, too nervous or you're too sweaty or whatever. But really, as long as they lock in on these catches, they're getting the
That's a
open
big deep
looks.
throw.
Okay, looks like it's going back inside. Oh!
And it's dropped.
There was a lot of traffic there. I think.
And I will say, coming off of a long break, watching that long point, you're kind of cold already. So
Yeah.
these catches are going to be hard until they start warming up a little bit again.
It, Warriors receivers in the NFL or Warriors ultimate players out here,
I mean, basically the same players. So it's like, what are you going to do?
Okay, looks like a good idea.
This is a great
Nice catch.
under.
Nice catch.
Bumps to Kinsey. Kinsey has power. Holsters though. Looks for the backhand, doesn't throw it. Swings to Lily. Oh, never mind. That's Trinity. My apologies.
That is Trinity chocolate to Liz to Kinsey.
Oh, I see.
I hope he wears it.
Okay, very good.
I like the fake. Even if you're not going to throw it, the fake is really important.
Absolutely. That's something I've noticed that Altitude's really good at. They almost always, and that's a
Great
score
score.
by Altitude.
That's a
as I was saying, I think Altitude's they've been super consistent about always just giving that backhand fake and putting a little bit of pressure on their mark to seal even faster, which opens up these inside flicks even more.
Gives you the inside flick. It also gives you the give and go. Like, it is just something that requires so little effort and so little time that, like, there's no reason, for my money at least, to never not do it.
Absolutely.
So I did want to plug the HEB.
HEB!
Mr. Henry, okay? Now, he has taken care of all of these snacks for us. Now, they are still a very, very low charge, okay? We're practically trying to give these things away.
Basically for free.
Now, I'm not going to say the prices because I want you to go down there and talk to our lovely volunteers, okay? And they will tell y'all that these things, we're practically giving them away, okay?
We're begging y'all to buy them, basically.
Looking like a new 7 for Trinity.
And that's
Not too unexpected, honestly.
Okay, guys?
What does that seem?
They will bring Kinsey back, though.
You know what? I have a
Also
thought,
not that unexpected, to be honest.
But, I'd like to call him just Henry.
Yeah, we're close with that. I think that's good. Yeah, that's good.
I really like how UTSA, while they're waiting for the pool to go up, they're kind of huddling, talking things out. I feel like we had an issue with Alamo where we talked too much, but there's always stuff to talk about in between every point that you can work on, you can improve on, things that you're noticing about the other team, your team. I really like the communication that they're showing.
That's a really great way to center, right? Not only are you all getting on the same page, but you talk to your team, you kind of build that trust again right before the point, and it helps you play that selfless Frisbee.
Especially if you have a child, they want those things too. I know that.
So true. That's Christmas gift, honestly. And never too early. So might as well do it. If anyone wants to come up here and
Another long time between points.
Definitely.
Definitely gonna, more than likely gonna enter the soft cap range like we did in the last game.
Again, I just want to remind everybody that
We like to see Axel with the clipboard.
It just fits him so well.
I bet there's literally nothing on it, but it's still cool.
Nice pull by Trinity. Kinsey's running a bit of a flat mark.
Wow, nice throw.
Nice reset throw by UTSA. Nice under
Great
throw.
bid.
Great attempt.
Great, continue. Run out of space though.
UTSA has so much momentum here.
Here we go.
Can you catch up? Oh, and it's a catch. That's a score.
Honestly, great point by UTSA. Like, I know I've talked a lot about kind of swinging off sideline and not wanting to push it too much down the sideline because you run out of space. But when they keep giving you that continue over and over again farther down the field, you might as well take it until it runs out. And at that point, it really didn't run out. They literally just ran it straight down the line from open cut to open cut.
Especially with how much momentum they were using, a lot of the cuts were super vertical and weren't very lateral, and they weren't getting trapped on the sideline. They were just walking it right down the middle of the field.
Well, they're so fast. They make fast people look not fast. That's what I usually explain. But I don't think we can say anything wrong in terms of 20
So now 3-1, UTSA in the lead. Trinity putting out another fresh line. Besides Kinsey, might be rolling here.
Oh, commentate for her. I feel like you know her pretty well, right? All right, what would you say?
Any chance that Kinsey gets too tired? Probably not.
Unlikely.
That's a straight quote.
Great quote from young Jeff. Maurice.
Okay. Looks like there's some coaching done. I will say that if I was UTSA, I would say.
What do you think Axel's saying right now?
I want to see.
I'm not
Excellent
sure.
game.
Maybe just to keep playing their system.
And players want to play.
Both teams have had turns, but I think, obviously the score is representing that UTSA is doing better with the opportunities given to them. Trinity has a lot of really great throwers and great athletes too.
Whoa. Do y'all feel that? Because it's feeling windy.
If they just work with the pieces they have, they can really do a lot of great work.
Okay, is that one out?
Roller.
Nice pull.
Is that Larry?
That's Larry.
Okay.
Larry
Center to Emily.
Okay.
Kinsey and Larry in the handler set.
I'd like to know the Cannons name.
Emily looking for the huck. Larry is there. Can't you catch up though? Oh.
Really like that look. Again, open. Came in a little hot, but with the wind, it's still like a really hard throw.
About where they're going, and they're playing much better.
But I hope they don't start to like get in their own head about dropping some of these or like missing some of these shots. I really hope they continue to shoot them because they have looked good. They just haven't been fortunate enough to connect yet.
I think the cuts have been great. I think the throws have been good and consistent. They're just not connecting on them when they might need to be. There's a turn. Trinity has the disc on the goal line. They might run an ISO here. Looks like they're running an ISO with Kinsey in the one in the stack.
What's the team's name?
Runs around. Emily throws the backhand. That's a score. What a cut by Kinsey.
What does that make you believe for? 3-2?
I think that was a good contest by the UTSA Trinity defending Kinsey there. It's just another thing where it's like exactly what we talked about in the previous game about the flat, the mark going a little too flat, fighting a little too much on the flick fake, opens up that break side space.
Yeah.
Where that downfield cutter just you can't ask them to guard two sides of the field at the same time. It's just too difficult.
That's a tough position for any defender and a tough matchup for anyone. I think the UTSA defender did a great job of forcing Kinsey where they wanted her to go, but Emily had that great backhand around to break the mark. And ends up being a score.
It's just really good offense.
Yeah.
I tried my heart out. I had a couple of letters of recommendation. It wasn't enough. Kinsey, though, do you see the leggings?
Yeah.
I didn't have those.
That's what you needed. That's what
Yeah, as Meek talks about Kinsey's leggings, how do you feel at the fit check today?
You know what?
Do you let her go outside like that?
Absolutely. Kinsey likes to be seen in the field for her family at home watching. Hi, the nieces. Love y'all. So she normally wears the red shorts, but she decided to add the green leggings today. I think it was a great choice.
Well, all UTSA really has to do is hold. So see how long they're able to keep that up. We always said that on mode, just a hold O-line. And, they rarely ever went that way. Always had to have D-line come in and save them. But hopefully that won't be the case here for UTSA.
Yeah, UTSA has the advantage here, but I will say momentum feels pretty even right now. I feel like both teams are playing their system. They're playing how they want to be playing. This game is really up in the air for both teams.
Deep shot? No. Oh, nice move.
Nice move.
It's a great example of why you want to look at your resets early, so they have time to make their move and get open.
Absolutely. Ooh, a dump floats a little bit, ends up being a drop.
So close on the catch there.
I think that was exactly what they want to do, right? They want to get that bump. They want to channel that momentum through a handler, but...
Just got to make sure it spins enough so the wind doesn't catch it.
Absolutely. Ooh, we see the wind impact that throw as well. It pops up right before Allison's able to get a hand on it.
Very good, very good.
Once again, the momentum feels very even. Ooh, and there's a deep shot. Great throw. There's float on it, but it might be just too far.
I really like that idea, though. Throw it out in space. There's no way the Trinity defender had to play on that, even though, I feel like she had good position. For a normal look, if you've got that, you've got it.
I know, I really like how both teams are throwing deep often. I want them to keep doing it because I think they've had good deep throws, and they have great cuts, too. I know Trinity, for one, has a lot of really fast players that love going into that deep space, but UTSA seems to have the exact same assets.
Picking up the disc, a little fake, ready for a flick, a little bit shorter this time.
Get that first under. Might look for a reset here. Never mind, goes for the throw. It's still there. It's inbounds, caught, great catch. Go for the dump.
Oh, I really like a swing there.
And there's the puck to Allison. She's there. Comes down with the disc. Trinity's close to the goal line. This might be a break. Gets the bump to Trinity. She has the disc. They're on the sideline, though. They might want to swing here.
Yeah.
Gets the swing to
Like a continue.
decision. And the great backhand, but it might be too low. It's a cut. That's a score. 3-3. The game is tied.
And honestly, it's another great sequence from Trinity's offense where, they ran out of space on the four side, they recognize the mark goes too flat, they get the break off, and then continue into the end zone. It's the easiest way to score. I feel like it's the most consistent way to score. And all it takes is that first throw. As long as that person with the disc initially on the sideline can get it off, that's all it takes for the defense to kind of fall apart.
Emily with some great timing there as well to get open for that break side throw.
I will take one. I want Kinsey's signature and I want the Candy's right now. I like what's happening. You know, did the Cannon give herself that nickname? Who gave her that nickname?
That's a good question. I think it was given to her by her teammates. You know, you don't really give yourself that kind of nickname. I think you kind of.
For watching DeMarcus limp onto the field is crazy.
I think it's
We love to see the support, though.
Excitement going on down there on the sideline. My goodness. While the coaches are working.
It's really nice to see almost the entire Trinity squad down there in the bleachers, watching the game.
I agree. I really loved how both teams came out to support each other tonight. And I know both UTSA teams are here to support each other as well.
Do y'all still do like the mixed pickup on Fridays?
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Great question. They started at 3-1. Now they have the chance to have another no, I lied. They're on hold. So they scored.
Okay. Well, I think they're ready. Look at
They're
that.
ready to respond. I really do.
Look at that. Bouncing up and down. Look at that hand. All the hands. Did you see that?
Wow, what a pull from Claire.
Really great pull.
Okay, picking up right in the middle.
Love
Nice
the,
in, they'll get lots of
yeah, I
yards.
like the immediate look to break side off the center.
Absolutely. Good mark by Livy.
Oh,
Throw goes a little high. Maybe the wind influencing it again. Claire decides to leave it, let Liz pick up.
Trying to get the ball out of her hands early. She was just where she was on the field, I think. And she kind of wanted to rethink this a little bit. Give the Cutters another opportunity in a different area to get the guy.
big mark.
Yeah,
Really like
maybe
this
the
mark
break
a
side
lot.
mark, but Kinsey's open on that strike.
Kinsey with the ball here.
Nice
Decides
fake.
to holster this throw, but actually she puts it up. Fantastic throw. It's floating though, the wind's impacting it. Oh, it can't quite come down with it. Lots of bodies in there.
I like the look. Definitely visionary. But another kind of thing similar to what Trinity was doing, we're just like, that's a really difficult throw. I know Kenzie has that, and I don't even think it was executed that poorly, but like it requires a lot of precision to get a throw off like that.
Especially with the wind. I think the wind is coming straight into us as a crosswind, basically.
Wow.
Oh, fantastic D by Kinsey.
But she got it back. That's positive yards. She definitely gained yards there.
Yeah,
So.
Kinsey gets the disc back, looks to pick it up. She's going to walk it out, and Trinity's going to run an end zone play. Looks like it's Cora there at the 1. She cuts. Kinsey has the throw. Doesn't throw it,
Nice mark,
holsters
nice
it. Kinsey inside flicks it Claire, but it's a drop.
Really good defense by the mark there, taking away the high release look that Kinsey initially wanted on the first guy.
So a lot of times those things can jump up on you, Yeah, really fast. It's not easy in close quarters. Oh,
Nice cut.
play.
Nice
Nice
continue.
strike. The momentum's building.
Running out of space though.
There's no way they can hit the line again, right?
Ooh, and the D's there. Livy manages to catch up and get a great D on that.
That's the 12th and 13th defender right there.
Well, the wind is the line, right?
Trinity once again picking up on this corner. The mark's very different this time though. Kind of bulldogs around. Nice throw for the reset.
And great catch too.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go.
Holsters the back and gives it back to Livy. They just want to be patient here, right? They'll get options though eventually.
Really good defense by UTSA though. They're pushing him back. They haven't gained any yards yet after like 4 or 5 throws.
Speaks to the hard work, not necessarily
Kinsey once again getting that break side strike, holsters it. Throws the flick though. Same interaction. It's a little short though, but Claire has it this time. Claire looking in the end zone. Kinsey's catching up. Throws to Kinsey and Kinsey catches it. That's a score, 4-3 Trinity.
We were talking about Kinsey's motor earlier. I mean, she threw a 40-yard throw and ends up sprinting down there to get to continue, after the good defense by the UTSA players in the end zone. It's really, as someone who's usually guarding handlers, it is really hard to guard those guys that are just willing to sprint down there immediately after they throw it when
Absolutely.
everyone is just staring there, seeing if it gets caught.
Also some props to Claire, who caught that deep ball and stayed very patient, right? Even though there were other players in the end zone, she waited for an open throw.
Yeah, 10 seconds is a long time. I feel like a lot of people, especially younger players, really don't tend to realize that yes, someone counting in your face is kind of scary sometimes, but 10 seconds is a long time, and someone will get open for you. Defense is just so difficult most of the time where that patience, like, it goes so far for how well a team can function. As we get farther into the outfield, this is another time that I'd like kind of like to see a timeout from UTSA. You know, they're there for a reason, and like these points have gotten shorter. You know, they haven't had too many marathon points besides that first one, but there's really just no reason not to use them unless you are for certain that you will need them in an end zone like setting. And as of right now, I don't think UTSA has really struggled in the end zone space that much.
Okay, well during this time here, the coaches are coming off. Look at UTSA. UTSA still talking about their offense.
I'd like to see UTSA continue to work with their momentum. I think they've done a really good job of getting those bumps off early, the early resets, getting the momentum in a handler's hands. Nice pull by Allison.
Nice pull.
I like it a lot.
Wow, great break.
Great
throw.
grab. Inside throw, great throw.
Very close. Trinity has about 50 yards to go here.
Great defense by Jove. Taking away
Yeah,
the
I
under.
will say, I've noticed UTSA has had really great cutter defense. And they managed to have great defense on the handler set there as well, resulting in a turn.
No pickup for the deep shot. Choosing to take a chili. Never a bad thing in my opinion.
Looks like they're picking it up on the close sideline. A big
Big
play.
throw.
Oh.
I definitely felt a gust of wind up here in the booth, so
Yeah.
they probably felt it on the field.
Considers whenever you put a little bit of,
That's another. Don't mind the idea too much. That one was definitely a more difficult throw than the ones that they previously had that were very close to being completed. I think it was nicely executed, but really difficult.
Yeah.
But that's credit to Trinity's defense. I think so far that has been the thing that's been most impressive about both teams is their defense.
I agree.
Every under seems difficult. Every reset seems difficult.
Wow, really great deep throw. Allison's there in the deep space.
She's wearing a hood, so it's hard to see.
It's a nice bump off and another deep throw. Oh.
I like that look. Just a little misread. Thought it was going to curve a little too much.
UTSA has another opportunity here. Looks like they're setting up a little bit slower.
Interesting,
I mean, I think that's a good plan.
interested to see if UTSA will opt into a more like deep shot look here, just because they're so close to their end zone. Like close field or short field turns are so dangerous. But looks like they're going to go with the standard piston.
I
Nice
will say,
under.
I really do feel UTSA has been getting open on these under looks. That's a great bump.
Great timing.
Another great look.
Very close, very close.
Yeah, UTSA with momentum has looked really excellent. Their deep cuts into undercuts timing has been really, really good so far. Should be looking reset here.
Wait for a reset. Nice move, but not quite ready for it. Second booty dump is open though, and they throw it. Looks for that backhand all the way on the break side. The backhand's open. The throw comes off. Oh.
Wow.
Seems to have crossed kind of behind the cutter's field of vision, making it really hard to track it down.
Young team from UTSA.
Okay, we have some attacking it in here.
Nice throw.
Small undercut here.
Another starting, first look under.
Wow, what a great
Another
Once
under.
again, yeah, UTSA is building this momentum.
Oh,
Trinity's this key again. Does anybody want to take a wild guess who's going to pick this one
UTSA might be switching to a bit of a backhand force here, trying to trap them on the sideline. But Trinity looks open on that strike.
nice
It's
D.
a little bit over.
Great
Madison
awareness.
down with it.
Oh. Really like the awareness to get that D from UTSA. That was not her in an initial matchup, but just keeping her head on a swivel to make sure that she's ready to help out her teammates.
After turns like that, when there are these faster transitions, it's really hard to when it's windy, you know, make these throws 100%.
Yeah. We're getting into, you know, marathon point here. Again, would like to see a timeout at some point, whether it's right after this point ends or even during the point as they get closer to the end zone.
Wow, really nice inside fake. And then the backhand was great. Came in a little bit too hot for it to be caught.
Yeah, great effort by Spider to try and lay out and catch that. Pretty quarter marky look here.
Wow, really nice throw and the catch.
Now more looking traditional trap side mark. Nice
Yeah, it
upline.
looks like these deep cuts are slowing down a little bit with the energy being reduced. I think it's just getting too hard for these downfield cutters to keep up with the throws with how long this point has been.
Yeah. I think at some point you have to kind of recognize that I think a lot of these deep looks have looked good, but they haven't been completed yet though. So maybe transitioning more to like a more small ball kind of look. You know, both teams have had a lot of success on unders to where they might need to even risk the potential turn of a deep shot, like an errant deep shot.
I agree. I think the unders are looking really good, and I mean, both teams proved early on that they can swing the disc super well. So I'd love to see more of that, especially in a situation like this where the disc is on the sideline. You might go for another strike, but there we go.
Oh,
That's exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, love that.
Really opens up the field.
Oh, unfortunate. Yeah, really can't stress enough how important that reset is off the line there. It's so hard to, like, as a defense, commit to staying really far around.
Ooh, that backhand, not the intended receiver, but Trinity catches it. That deep throw going for Allison. Is Allison fast enough? She is. That's
Wow, did not maintain possession through the ground contact, so unfortunately that's a turn. Great effort, though, by Allison.
It didn't survive the ground contact. That was a tough play. That's true. That is true.
And there it is.
Timeout called by UTSA. I think that's absolutely the right decision.
And there it is, yep. Veteran call.
Super long point. Now they're going to get a chance to get a breath and work their system and work it down the field.
Yeah, I think when you finally, you know, call that timeout yourself, that's when you really turn a corner on your Frisbee career, where, like, now you really get it, you know?
Absolutely. Both teams probably very thankful for this timeout call, though. And I can't imagine Trinity's too upset with the field position, right? They have UTSA on the goal line, so they're going to want to set up some really strong defense here, maybe even set up a bit of a poach play. And they need to make sure that deep throw doesn't go off.
Yeah, do you think there's any threat of a zone here?
I don't. I think that Trinity has felt successful with how they've been playing their person defense, and they'll want to just keep doing that.
Do you think there's a chance that zone comes out at all this game? Is this something that you think Trinity has been working on?
I feel like I have seen altitude run zone in the past a lot, but I don't know how much they've done it this year. And I also just think, unless the wind picks up a lot more or person defense starts being unsuccessful, there's no reason to switch to it. I feel like both teams are in a good place, and they just got to keep working on executing what they're doing well.
And also, zone is kind of cringe, so we don't want to see any cringe.
I didn't want to say it, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, just come out and say it, Josh.
It'd be lame. For a show match especially.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see 1,000 throws that go back and forth over and over again. Are you down to, like, rush the field if they run zone and tell Axel to stop? Because I'm down personally.
I have his number.
That we have very good stuff.
You think that's one of the notes on Axel's clipboard? Is like, if all else fails, we run zone?
Maybe. I can't imagine when he has clicked up on there, to be honest.
I think that's what I'm going to do at halftime. I'm going to rush the field and see what's on that clipboard. I really need to know. And I'll come back and tell everyone.
I think it's just each player, and he uses it to track how much playtime they're getting.
I see. Yeah. How boring. I want to know the secret sauce.
It's good, you know. You like to make sure everyone gets playing time so you can build a well-rounded team. Depth is super important in Frisbee, especially in tournaments where people start getting tired, people get hurt. It's nice to have depth.
I did want to remind everybody that all the
How do you feel about playtime on Alamo this year? Circling back to that while we wait for the play to start up again.
You know what? I felt like playtime at Alamo is always very justified. You know, I think that the best way to run a team is to have the best players play until they can't anymore. And if I'm not the best player, then I don't deserve to play the most points, you know?
You know that Shelly won't be on the team next year. You don't have to say something so PC.
That is genuinely how I feel.
Wow, so based. Incredible.
Okay, looks like the timeout's breaking.
Yeah, you missed the previous year. That was awesome.
Now at practice, I wish D2 got and D1 got more offensive points instead of just polling every single point of scrim. But in tournaments, yeah, D2 should only play when there's a reason.
That is so unbelievably reasonable of you.
We really slow it down to the point where everybody's sitting ready. Okay, that's one thing that we kind of have to sign off on.
Yeah, the offense gets set first, and then the offense is set and confirmed by the defense. The defense will then set up.
All right, looks like we're setting up again. Another long timeout. Seems to run in the college blood.
One of the guys signaled readiness.
Yeah, I mean, especially everyone's playing super hard, and it's nice to have the opportunity to rest a bit more. Wow, great defense. And the big throw, too. Allison, she's fresh. She's coming down with this one. That's another score for altitude. Oh, and the worm is happening on the field. Oh, another player.
Now, I would like to speak on the law. You know, it's not Einstein's law by any means, but a law of conservation.
That was a really great defensive play by Trinity there. Her name is Trinity, and she plays for Trinity University.
And there also happens to be a Trinity on UTSA.
That is true. That is
as
true.
confusing as possible.
Regardless of how confusing it was, great defensive play and great throw afterwards. Allison was there. She was ready for it. Great connection.
And I don't really feel like that shot was any different than the ones that they were taking earlier. It's just that it finally, happened to get connected.
Yeah.
It's nice, like we were talking about earlier, where I didn't want them to get in their heads about, dropping some of them or, missing some of them. It's nice that they keep shooting, they keep looking for the stuff that they know that they should be looking for.
Absolutely. Yeah, all the throws have been good. That one, I think the legs just a little bit more fresh, a little bit less tired.
You know, I'm glad you said that because I was going to say, she's a first-year player. We're talking about a genius.
Yeah, on her fact sheet it says 6'7" mega athlete. Allison makes sure she was me. I heard that the player self-showed out there for her, but I think that's true. I see no false facts in that. So I take that.
6'7"?
6'7". That's right.
And this is where it gets really tough for UTSA, I feel, because super long point. I know that they called a timeout, but then they were immediately with turnover into score and then straight back out there having to work the entire field again, while Trinity is a full fresh 7.
6'7".
Another really nice pull.
Yeah. I need to teach have Claire come teach the UTSA kids how to pull. That's ridiculous.
Nice center, gets them more on the break side. That first under goes off. Another continuation.
A little claustrophobic in the cutter space there.
Maybe a little bit too much going on.
Yeah.
Results in a turn. Nice clearing. Cut is open. Bump to Kinsey. She has power and throws it. Nice throw. Hasn't been a touch on it. Is it enough? It is. What a throw and a great cut. What a fantastic cut. That's another score for Trinity.
Yeah, really want to great throw from Kinsey and great catch, but I really want to highlight the initial the way that set up where they had a cut from Claire where it was very obvious from the way that she moved that she was not trying to get the disc. She was really just a distraction to open up space for the next cut to come in to set all of that sequence up because one under into big space allows Kinsey to push up, get the bump, and hit the shot.
Absolutely.
It's really selfless, team-oriented offense, which you really like to see.
And really good synergy with those two cutters, right, reacting off of each other. Maddie taking that open space that Claire is creating while clearing out. Looks like that might be halftime. I believe it is 7-3 now. I feel like I'm wrong.
I don't think it's
6-3.
I think it's probably 6-3.
I think it's 6-3.
You know, well, I forgot we were doing a halftime. And that is one of the
Looks like half. Don't quite know the score yet. We will update y'all as soon as we know.
I'm seeing a lot of big plays. I'm seeing overruling
Any
laws of conservation.
closing thoughts for that first half that you think for both teams?
I mean, it's what you were just saying, right? Trinity had the opportunity to pull out a completely fresh new line, whereas UTSA had to go back with a lot of the same players. They had to work it all the way down the field, and they had that turn happen, and Trinity just had the legs to kind of beat them to that end zone, right? I think that's going to kind of be the story for a lot of this game, and we'll see how it continues to progress as we get into the second half. Thankfully, the players will get an opportunity to rest here during halftime. Maybe they can come out hot in the second half. But really, I mean, UTSA needs to really focus on maintaining their legs and maintaining their energy.
Yeah, I feel like that really should be the narrative. As is, you saw in the beginning of the game when both teams were fresh, UTSA came on to a really hot start, and then as the half went on, they kind of slowly kind of petered out, and Trinity kind of overwhelmed them almost, just with their numbers and being able to always have fresh legs out there. It's such a big difference. But also, maybe we'll see the beginning, the beginning of the first half, UTSA come out again in the beginning of the second half, and see if they can kind of make this comeback.
I have a feeling it will. I still think UTSA has been playing really good offense and really good defense. I think they just lost a little bit of momentum towards the end of that first half. I think they can bring it back.
All right, see y'all in a few minutes.
Listen, I'm here to plug the WNBA
Both teams are getting a line out in the field, so we are getting ready for the second half. I can't quite remember who started out on offense and who started out on defense, but I don't see Altitude with the disc, so I think Altitude might be on offense here.
Is that true? UTSA started off with, was it a hold or a break?
I think a hold.
I think, yeah, it must have been a hold.
They're sending the disc off, so they're really going to have to come out here and play it.
Still, I think this game is well within reach. We saw, it's really easy to get that forward momentum, go on a run, and that lead can just vanish just like that. So, both teams definitely still in this. Do you know how much time there is left in this game?
I'm not quite sure. I think they still have a good amount of time, but I do think that first half will be longer than the second half for sure. I think UTSA, the great thing is that they're going to have a lot of energy coming out here, and if they put on some great defense and get a turn, get a point, and I will say it always feels worse to lose a lead than to watch the other team get a lead, so if they can get some points on the board here, it might break Altitude's spirits a little bit.
You were not around for Hip versus Mode 2023, but I totally agree with what you're saying right now.
Oh, really great attempt by Lily there, almost had the bid.
Cam picking up the disc here without the first look. Look and reset.
Nice move. Nice inside throw. Really nice throw. And the continuation's there as well. They have it all the way on the break side.
No, looks that off.
Holsters the deep look. I think that's the right move. A lot of people are moving in between.
Great reset. Nice strike.
Yeah, really nice movement here from UTSA. Like we said,
difficult throw.
Nice idea, but really difficult throw. Even still, I mean, we're seeing that UTSA is coming out with a lot of energy, and they're putting on great defense, and they have great offense right now as well.
Yeah. Looks very reminiscent of that first, half of that first half.
Absolutely.
What? Who is this?
Good defense there. Forces a hard throw.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Can UTSA punch this in? It's really important that they, every time they get close to the end zone, they really need to punch it in just so their points may stay short.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Bigger throw
Big
coming
shot.
off across the stack. Just a little too far, though.
Honestly, kind of visionary. No one was in that space, but if someone had been paying attention, that was right on the money, I think, for the back of the stack.
I do think it was placed in a nice spot, but it's hard for those cutters in the back of the stack to have that eye contact to see that throw coming up.
It really needs to be like something you kind of work on ahead of time. Looks like there's two discs on the field somehow. Great throw. Spike that guy. Stack is really close here.
Looking for the reset. This time Emily does get open. She has power. No one deep though.
Wow. Surprised that they didn't run for that. Wasn't really given a deep option. They kind of just looked at her.
Nice cut across the field, super lateral, but Lily gets the disc to her. Gets the bump off too. That was a close window.
Look reset here. Mark is really flat. Wow, goes for the strike.
Nice move. Oh, the throw just isn't quite there though.
Yeah, I think that just needs to be better recognition by the Trinity reset, as the mark was flat and they cut into the mark's back basically. It makes it really hard to get that throw off.
It looked like they had set something up there and then that clap initiated the play. That's what it seemed like. I'd like to kind of know what the strategy was there, but it looked like it wasn't.
More normal setup here, not quite so close.
Nice cut there. Cool break side throw.
Wow.
Comes down the disc after being bobbled.
Oh, I love the pivoting here. Just threatening, multiple options over and over again.
Especially with that flat mark. I mean, resets are available on both sides.
Nice.
UTSA is doing a great job of forcing them away from the middle of the field.
Way to get a hand on that.
It feels like when Altitude gets closer to the middle of the field, UTSA is almost shifting to more of a flat mark just to stop all that movement in the middle. But that is opening the resets, and I think Altitude's doing a good job of recognizing that. Great cut.
Oh, great cut.
Open on the strike. Oh, really great cut.
I like the strike look from where the the person striking is way far back, and they're just like basically sprinting 30 yards to get a 10-yard gainer. It's so hard to guard that because you're like, surely they won't just sprint the whole way there when we're this far.
Nice catch by Cora. That was coming in pretty fast. Nice fakes.
Nice mark.
Make the mark move. Strikes looked. There's room to get it.
Wow, great catch.
And the deep throw goes off. It's LeClaire. Can she? Oh. A little too much OI. Kind of bends away from her. I think it was a great cut.
It's a difficult read. Because it probably ended up, it's hard to tell from this angle, but I imagine it was right over her head while curving back or towards the middle. It's a really hard read. Christian Peterka would never catch that.
I think that's a hard throw as well, just because it's kind of that same third a little bit in the middle of the field. So you almost have to put it over their head, or you have to throw it way out and make it floaty. Yeah.
Yeah. He seems to have left the building, but
No, I don't think he's left the building. I think he's over there.
A little bit more of a
Wow,
flat mark
great cut.
Trinity as well.
Didn't get hit though. Well, another open under. Oh,
Great D.
nice D. Nice awareness from the
Almost
other
second attempt
UTSA
on it.
cutter though, to almost catch that.
Looks like a bit of a conversation. Just want to make sure there wasn't a foul on the play. Looks like everyone's good.
Heavy fronting here from UTSA, I like that. Close to the end zone.
Oh, but the deep shot might be open. Claire's there.
Wow, great
Holds it
throw.
in. Great throw.
Yeah.
Way to really stretch her to the outside.
The
that
John
sideline.
Randolph Selly over the shoulder. That's crazy.
She's also signing the Frisbee right now.
Wow. Are you allowed to do 2 Sellys and 1 score? Is that
If you
allowed?
are Claire, you are allowed, yes.
Okay. I wouldn't know. Personally, I don't score very often.
DeMarcus might be celebrating more than Claire did, to be honest. He is very happy about his signed disc.
I really appreciate it if he like threw it over his head backwards into the crowd.
Yeah, a little bouquet.
Yeah, it was a great throw. Great cut.
Yeah, absolutely.
And great Selly, of course.
I think something I'm really impressed by this game is both teams are really showing off the synergy they have with each other. I feel like there's so many trust throws that work out really well and are super close 90% of the time, just because they know each other so well.
Yeah, I feel like Trinity's kind of throwing into space a lot of the time, which is his trust throws, and UTSA is able to play like a really fast-paced game because they know as soon as they catch an under, they're gonna look upfield and there's gonna be another under coming. That like kind of waterfall is how I was taught. Is they always have that next cutter coming in. Their timing is really good. They don't have the same. They're not throwing the same kind of like space throws the way that Trinity is, but you can still see that chemistry manifesting in a different way.
For sure. My first 3 years at Turbulence, we always practiced doing that waterfall, and we were never this successful with it.
Because you didn't have Axel and Gabby.
Might be true.
Christian Peterka instead. Okay,
I'll
stop with the Christian Peterka strays. I'm sorry.
A couple of strays here. This is a little crazy. He's listening to the stream, I imagine.
Good.
Christian, you had a great day today at the Stu Classic tournament.
Tomorrow will be worse, though. Sorry, bud.
That was what happened.
You know what? That's that synced offense, and you just can't beat that. You just cannot.
All right, will we see an offsides like UTSA men's?
I have not seen it so far.
Much better. Much better than UTSA men's.
That's something I've noticed about watching Altitude a lot, and I'm seeing it now watching Legion as well.
Wow.
Wow, really impressive way to come down with that. That was a super tight window.
Oh, might be a
Great
foul.
fight.
I feel like that's probably going to be a foul called.
I think it might have even just been a basic strip.
Yeah.
As I was saying, I feel like both these teams are very disciplined. And that's not something I always see from the men's teams, but they're doing a great job of holstering in the right moments, throwing in the right moments, trusting each other. It all looks really good.
I wish I could get them to play disciplined, but I'm starting to lose faith that it's even possible.
It looks like a contested foul. This goes back. Probably a low stall. Looking for a reset option. Both going for a strike. It's a little crowded.
Wow, great throw. Oh, so close.
Really nice throw. Wind definitely made it pop a little bit.
That's crazy.
They've done it like everything.
That's so crazy.
The Turbulence fans now watching Altitude are being very vocal on the sideline, here to support their fellow Trinity team.
Cutter comes from in a horizontal stack, slashes
Really flat mark by Kinsey. Looks like she's just trusting herself.
Great defense.
Really nice defense.
Wow,
Great throw. That was
Holy
super
cow.
impressive.
Oh. Some of these insides that Legion has been throwing have been really impressive.
Absolutely. It's awesome as well how they're transitioning so well from these tight windows into these continuations. It's hard to catch these throws.
Yeah, it
That
feels
throw
like
just barely goes over their hands.
anytime Legion gets anything, they always get another throw right afterwards.
They're
Almost
able to
always.
transition super quickly, which is super impressive. That's very hard to teach.
Maybe
Nice under.
it's a little high. But now, unfortunately, Trinity getting closer and closer to the red zone.
Once again, it's been a bit of a long point, and I think the legs are starting to affect some of these cuts and throws. Really
good
nice
tempo.
grab. Great spirit to check on your opponent. Kinsey fakes that backhand. Really wants it. Goes for it. Nice swing. Great grab, too. Livy with the disc. Far on the break side. Lots of cuts coming at her, but looks for the reset instead.
Like the
Definitely the
footwork
safer
there.
option.
Lots of pivots, lots of fakes. Love to see that.
Absolutely. Great cut. Super open in the middle of the field. I look for a bump here or a swing. Nice booty dump. They throw it again. They want to be here on this break side. The throw goes off. It's a great throw. Just barely goes through her hands. Really nice cut. Great timing.
I want to give a lot of credit to that, the reset, the booty throw. And as she went for it, the mark kind of started to bulldog her, and she stepped away from it and let her, reset into space. That is a lot harder than it seems.
Absolutely.
And that is the reason why all of that momentum was able to get carried up into the end zone for an
That's
almost score.
That's when I noticed Emily was doing well on altitude earlier this game. Some of her round throws, she was doing a good job of stepping through the mark.
Really difficult spot here for Legion, though.
Absolutely.
Great under,
All
though.
teams struggle here. Really nice throw, good under. Just goes through her hands.
That is crazy. Too dangerous of a throw. I'd like a swing here.
Yeah, they're a little far from the end zone. I think a throw there is going to be too hard.
Great fill.
Kinsey with a fantastic fill. Now they're in the right spot. And the throw goes off.
Oh,
Great throw.
it's a great bid. It's a little
Yeah, these
far.
discs are coming a little hot. It's hard to keep a hold on them.
I really enjoy, leaving my feet because it lets me not have to think about my feet so much. I can think about catching the disc.
What
So I
is he
always found
saying?
it was a little bit easier to catch.
Really trying to stop the swing here, but the strike might go off.
Nice 7. Wow.
There's the throw. It's a bit of a deep shot. There's time on it. It's floating. Wow,
Great
great
throw.
throw. Way to get to the disc as well.
Nice under for
throw.
Trinity.
Good bump, maybe. Definitely going to hold for that. It's the right decision.
Too close to the mark. Great defense by Allison, looks like. Yeah. It's really hard to set up a reset cut when you're in front of the handler like that. I'd either like to see them clear out and have faith that another teammate will be able to get into that strike space, or just drop back instead of for the booty cut.
Absolutely. Nice footwork by Livy
Oh,
there.
would like to
Get
see that
open.
continue.
Nice throw across the field to
Nice under.
Alyssa. Kinsey might be open on the strike here. Not going to go for it. Good holster. There's the strike to Livy. Great one-hand snag. Kinsey goes under, but isn't open. Clears to the break side.
Great
Allison
strike.
going for the strike. Super open. Oh, the throw isn't quite there.
Really like that move though, to kind of drop back into the around space to kind of bait the other handler defender to kind of bite on that and close in.
Absolutely.
And one of them was, a punt, but it didn't work out. So we'll see what they can do here.
Nice flat mark here, making those throws really hard, but the break side does go off, but it just goes over the head.
It's a really difficult throw.
Absolutely. It's a great mark by Allison.
Yeah.
That was the right direction. Going to the backhand, maybe a lower release point would have added some success.
Forcing backhand here, I don't know if that's the right decision. Really nice cut by Kinsey. That's a score.
Yeah, I wonder if that backhand mark was almost a miscommunication between the handler defenders and the stack defenders, because it looked like the UTSA stack defenders were on the wrong side. And then, Kinsey recognizes the mark force, runs towards the open lane. It's wide open, and it's an easy score.
Yeah.
A lot of ultimate players find
Looks like DeMarcus maybe got another signature there. I'm not quite sure.
But it is coming along.
The disc is going to be really valuable by the end of this game if Trinity closes this out.
I mean, I know that I found it.
Though I have to say, watching him run in sandals makes me very scared.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think UTSA has a bit of a tough decision to make here because altitude is creating a larger lead here, and UTSA has to decide between how much they're able to rest their players and how much they need to play in order to get some points back on the board.
Yeah, a lot of the times they've been, taking their time, setting up the next point, and talking things through about what went right, what went wrong, and now when we talked about earlier of like calling their timeouts to get rest, now if they call them, they're getting dangerously close to that soft cap limit where they have to make an insane comeback, scoring really quickly to kind of bring this back. It's not impossible, but it's just something they have to think about now. Whereas before, they could have just called it, taken the breather, and moved on.
I will say, from what I've seen from their offense, the momentum they're able to use, I think if they're able to punch it into the end zone a couple times, they can definitely have a bit of a comeback here. But they just need to be able to capitalize once they do get into that red zone.
Yeah, I feel like we talked a lot about how good their momentum is, but it seems like it's almost becoming a slight detriment in that they get too fast, where they get under, and then as they get near the red zone, they're suddenly going too fast. They, fumble the last couple throws, and then they end up turning it, having to work it up again, and they kind of repeat the same cycle. I'd like them to push the momentum, chill out for just a second, and then restart. Because their initial cutting has been really good from a standstill.
Absolutely.
Oh. Not what you want to see if you're a UTSA fan here. Oh, super fast cut.
Nice cut. Goes to the break side. She might be open there. There's a lot of bodies.
A lot of contact there, but I do think that was clean. I think she got to the disc, before any of the contact happened, but
yeah,
still a little scary.
So keeping it clean.
The good news is that UTSA has the disc back, and they have a good opportunity to maybe huck deep here if they want to.
Nice
Right under throw.
Big strike.
Wow.
Nice
grab.
Crazy catch.
There are cuts in the end zone. She goes for it. Caught. There's a score. That's what we were talking about. Big collision, though. Is everyone all right?
Yeah, is she okay?
Looks like they're doing all right.
Should be a score, though, I think. I don't think that was a pick or anything. I think it was just unfortunate contact.
I agree.
Looks like she did. Okay, looks like it's a score.
Right. That's absolutely what UTSA needed. They need the momentum to get back in this game. A quick score. Hopefully they can rest a bit here while Altitude gets a line ready to go. And they got to play defense, right? Get a good pull out, get a quick turn. Maybe go for another deep huck.
Yeah.
If they can get Altitude on their back foot, they might be able to score in the red zone again.
Yeah, another example of what they're really so good at, just sprinting down that four-side line. Really noticed that a lot of times from both teams, honestly, where when they have the disc in the handler's hands on the break side, whenever they swing it, they don't really move too much. They kind of just stand in that break side space. But anytime that they're in the center and they're throwing it to four side, they are sprinting into that strike space. And a lot of times it's working. I would really like to see that happen on both sides of the field. I know it's not as uncommon where, a lot of times people want to take their couple seconds to look up fields. But that give and go is so strong whenever your mark is on the wrong side of you and you can just kind of run past them.
I totally agree. And I really do love how these strike cuts are so fast. I almost feel like they could be even more vertical with them because a lot of these strike cuts, they're like the farthest person down the field and they could probably get more yards and even more momentum.
Yeah. Also really good on both teams opening up that strike space and not like clogging. We saw that only happen once earlier. And, it was a turn, which is not too surprising. While here, most of the other times, it's like there's no one in that space. There's no, dangerous collisions, chance. And they're just able to continuously attack that area over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
And so does UTSA.
While still, having downfield threat looks, not just, forcing it through strikes over and over again.
It is always played until the last second drops. So let's see what UTSA does.
This actually looks like a bit of a kill line for Altitude. Listening to some of the commentators down in the stands, it sounds like soft cap may have gone off that last point. So I think Altitude is looking to end the game here. They want to hold and end the game.
They could
Not
be
surprising.
inspired.
You know, don't want to drag anything out. Don't want to don't want to give too much momentum to a a surging UTSA.
They care about it so much. They care about it as much as they do. Okay.
Here comes the poll. It's really do or die right now for UTSA, and I think they have it in the
Like the position of the pole, nice on the far sideline. Should get in lots of times to set up.
Shout out my dear friend Sabrina from UTSA.
They're going for a flat mark, almost kind of a backhand force.
It's like a quarter marky
Altitude
look.
wants the flick, but they go for the backhand. Right decision.
This mark's super flat. Would like to look reset. A little too late.
Oh, it's a punch.
Wow, crazy throw. Ends up being caught by Liz. They're setting him in end zone. Allison's going. It doesn't come down to
Great
this.
D.
Great D. Really fantastic defense.
Earlier I pointed out the Cannon's footwork, the Cannon as they call her. Her footwork and how she's constantly pivoting, faking. I really like to see Claire incorporate that into her game, where she was kind of just stuck there in that flick position, and it just makes defense way easier when you know that they have to throw into this one lane.
Really nice inside throw there from UTSA again. They've really been able to show that off a lot this game. Going for another reset here.
Great move.
Very unlucky. Just
Really
bounces
unfortunate
off.
drop, yeah. Right on the goal line.
See what Trinity does to set this up.
Let's see if their end zone defense is,
Everybody set up.
works a little bit better than the last time that they were here.
Once again, they put Kinsey as that one. They have confidence in her getting open. She puts it as Scoober to Kinsey, and that's the game.
My goodness.
That's crazy, honestly.
Cannon.
You know, that was a really awesome game from both teams. I will say that's I'm sure a sentimental ending for Altitude, as that is the last point that Kinsey Neese will ever play with them. She's going to do a little bit of backhand spring here for them.
Why is she good at that too? How is that fair?
She's multi-talented,
Looks like the teams are lined
but she's been a really big part of their team this past year, both on the field and off the field. But they have a great core right now, and they have a great coaching squad, so they will still be very strong without her, as you saw tonight.
Yeah, I really feel like, on that first point when Kizzy got those 3Ds, she kind of not to say that she didn't do anything for the rest of the game, but she didn't have that overwhelming presence that I was talking about earlier, on that point, where really it was that core that you're talking about that really kind of locked in that game and kind of punched it in for them.
Yeah. So any closing thoughts? What'd you think?
I think it was a really impressive game by both, where you see it's nice to see two teams with very distinct styles, where I feel like the men's game, UTSA runs a little bit of vert, but they still run the same host stack. It's very similar systems where they're swing, blah, blah, blah. While here it's Trinity is pretty similar to the men's teams, I feel like, where they want to take it slow, go through their unders, occasional deep shots, a lot of booty cuts, while the UTSA team was very momentum based, very forward charging, where they were constant, as soon as they got that first one, they were all just sprinting and then doubling back. And there's not it's really cool to see two different styles, because I don't think one is right and one is wrong, and you see the merits of both in that kind of game. What about you, Josh? Any closing thoughts?
Well, it was cool to see, even with their different styles, they were playing, on paper, a very similar system, and it was cool to see how they utilized that system in different ways. I think both teams should be super proud of how they played. We talked about it a lot throughout this cast, but UTSA definitely struggled with numbers, and I think that affected the way that they were able to utilize their offense, right, as people got tired and legs got a little bit more tired. They slowed down a little bit, but that's going to happen, right? Altitude had the resources to keep putting on fresh lines, and it had a really big impact on the game. That being said, I think UTSA proved in those first 2 points that they are a really good team.
Yeah.
And they kept this game super close.
Yeah, I think this is another case of what happened in the men's game, where it's the score was 6-10 in the first game. Don't remember the exact score for this one, but I feel like it was much closer and more competitive than what the score kind of showed. Where each point was hard. There was no just walk down the field effortlessly.
Yeah.
They were both fighting back over and over and over again, which is really nice to see.
Definitely a great fight in both games from both teams, all four teams tonight. I know as someone who just left the college scene is now in the community scene. I'm really excited about how these teams will continue to feed and be fed by the community. It's super important to have our college teams represented and to have us come out here and support them. That's why we do what we do, and we're super excited for them.
Yep. I don't think I could say it better myself.
Awesome. Well, we might leave the camera on for a little bit just to put a bit of a spotlight on this awesome Spirit Circle, but that's it for us tonight. Signing off, Josh.
Chase, thank you all so much.